Welcome to Xbox Uncut's weekly podcast.
Dustin!
The announcer talking to you the whole time, you were just like, it was just felt like Crackdown, and it felt like the sequel you really wanted instead of Crackdown 2. You were just like, yes, this is what I want, this is gonna be it, this is gonna be great, I can't wait, Crackdown, motherfuckers.
If it does really well on console, I don't see it coming to PC. Because they're going to want people to have a reason
to buy
the next Xbox for the next Quantum Break. I mean, it's like what they're doing with Gears of War and Halo. They'll bring those games eventually to PC in certain cases, but it's not going to be the primary platform ever.
Steve rules.
As far as like maybe if you mark a monster, it can run away and then you can find it again. That'd be cool.
Just like graphically, it looks so good, and okay, the frame rate wasn't a lot 30 and else poppy, and I don't give a shit. It looked damn good. I'm gonna be feasting on this game, like that dragon is gonna be feasting on his foes.
Welcome to Xbox Uncut's weekly podcast. We are here for episode 107. It's about that time of the week that we come together and we yell at Nintendad during party chat. I mean, during our video game talk show. Podcast, talk show.
This is a podcast.
It's a podcast. Is it a podcast? Because right now, we are live streaming on Twitch, and you could be watching us live on twitch.tv/Xbox Uncut, self-promotion. And that's how we do it. You can watch live. We record 8 p.m. Eastern every day except for Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. We have something going on at 8 o'clock Eastern, so check us out. All our channels, but let's just get into, let's introduce the panelists, the people that are here, the people we care about slightly, like Steve rules. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Thank you, Dustin. It's good to be here. So
when is the fappening starting?
I don't know. I'm trying to work out how to let you down gently. That I'm exiting the show and I'm going solo.
Oh no, we know you're going solo. That's why you're fappening. Like that's the whole part of the reason. But you know what? Take your time. The release or the fappening, whatever you want to call the show. Eventually, it's just going to be a sexual innuendo, which will be amazing. But thank you for that. We have Vern. Welcome to the show, Vern, the Golden Throat.
I'm here.
Vern is here.
Yeah. Throat's full of gold, just for you guys.
We have the wonderful Tim Dog on this week. What's up, Tim?
How you doing?
Tim was right on time this week. That's all I'm saying.
Tim was like half hour early.
Actually, did Tim know that we were starting at 8? Because I saw him come on at sort of like 5 past. It's like, I bet he thinks that we started 5 minutes ago.
No, I thought 7. I mean, it's been crazy. So I rushed home. And I was here at 7. And we've been talking since.
For an hour and a half.
You got on early.
Yeah. All right, and we also have a special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, my dad, Nintendad, a.k.a. Chris.
Hey, thanks. Hi, thanks for having me. I figured I'd come talk a little until you guys mute me.
Oh, I can't. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole. But thank you so much for coming on, Dad. If we had another guest on, I would literally have like a big muted X on you and him in the top right corner. It would be great. But for this show, we'll just leave you alone. It's cool. All right. I don't even know where to start. There was so much that happened this week. We had like interviews from Phil Spencer all over the place. We didn't have a ton of news. We had a decent trickle of news. Nothing too crazy. And we had, what is it, like 6 letters? 7 letters?
We have a lot of letters, yeah. We got a ton of letters.
So we're going to go right back into letters because we got to get through those because these guys have already told me it cannot be a 3-hour show. So, Vern?
So it'll be 4, is what you're saying.
We're going to read all the letters.
Oh, okay. So letters with Vern. First letter is from Old No Bones. Old No Bones writes, with Crackdown having amazing physics calculated remotely through Azure, it got me thinking about what kind of games could benefit from similar tech, and what other features could be enhanced aside from AI and physics. NVIDIA had a demo and tech paper on global... I cannot talk right now. That must be the drinking. On global illumination via the cloud, and a company called Otoy are partnered with Amazon to try and make real-time ray tracing a reality. For those who don't know, CG films get their very natural and realistic lighting from ray tracing. I don't want to go all Mr. Crackhead Media here, but I really do believe that over this next decade, we will see the deficiencies of local hardware helped by cloud compute, and Microsoft is leading the way. I'm going to bet right now that I'm going to bet right now that the C's in Sea of Thieves are possible through fluid simulation via the cloud. What kind of games or specific IPs would benefit from Crackdown physics tech? Also, Destiny doesn't have any advanced physics tech. Just thought I would point that out. Oh, no bones.
Well, of course, Destiny doesn't have anything. It doesn't have a story. It doesn't have...
Can I just say...
Okay.
I think I might give Destiny another shot in September when the expansion comes out.
Bad!
Right.
Don't feed them money! Don't feed that...
Dustin, kick him.
I own it already. I might start a new character. Listen. Hear me out here.
I got Skype up now.
I own it already, and I want to see what kind of changes they make, because they did announce that Peter Dinklage is gone. Nolan North will be re-recording all the dialogue, and they will be changing some objectives. They will be changing the order of some missions, as well as some dialogue and cutscenes and things like that here and there. So it sounds like they're making a real effort to make the original game better, and then obviously anything going forward after that will have the benefit of being new.
I need one thing from you, Vern. One thing.
What?
I need you to wait for reviews. I'm just asking, as a friend, as a concerned citizen.
I don't need to buy it.
No, I'm talking about for the stupid DLC. Do you already own it?
Oh, no, I'm not going to buy that until I play the original again.
Okay.
I'm just saying I was going to give it a shot.
No, like the new voice acting? Like the new voice acting? Yeah.
By the way,
and this oh, okay. Go for it.
Just say that, Dustin, you stole my joke.
What's that?
What was your joke?
When the letter said something about how Destiny didn't have advanced physics or something, and I was going to go, Destiny doesn't have advanced anything, and then you stole it.
You know what? I'm going to take a step back and be humble and say I'm sorry, Steve.
Oh, thank you, Dustin.
Uh-huh. And this is that time where I ask Steve, how are you doing today, Steve?
I'm good.
Nobody cares. All right, what's the rest of this letter?
Excuse me. I didn't just say that.
This is why nobody will ever come on our show. It's so true. But this is awful air. All right. What games would benefit from cloud physics? I think, I don't know, Crimson Skies. I want to see, and I know this sounds awful. I want to see towers fall as planes fly through them and crashing down, and like
you could do that.
I want the whole city blowing up while I'm flying around. Like, I think that'd be awesome. Like, you have the blimps blowing up and have like I don't know. I just see stuff like that being awesome with the physics. And also, you could have Crimson Skies as a 124 player online huge free roam area thing, which would be fucking awesome.
I know what I want.
What's that?
I know the exact game I want, and that's a Halo. Awesome. No, I want a Halo Civil War game between Earth and the outer colonies, 24 versus 24, like kind of like Battlefield kind of thing, but entirely destructible worlds.
Well, like Levolution.
Yes, Levolution is exactly what Fern wants.
Yeah, just one thing. Yeah, just one thing to be destroyed. No, I want entirely destructible worlds. So.
Oh, okay.
See what I think is good is that we've got this conversation going. 2-3 years ago we couldn't have this conversation because we would be laughed off the internet.
Shut up! The power of the cloud's fake. Are they made out of cotton candy?
Now we know it's real. And now the possibilities are starting to be bandied about. So
wait, Tim. It is not real until it's on my TV and I get to play it. It can't exist.
On your 56K modem, too, right?
Yeah. Look, my 28K modem needs to be able to use it.
No, but in reality, I'm glad the conversation started. I'm looking forward to Sea of Thieves. Old Bones brought that up. Yeah, that could be huge with the water. It's going to be up to the person who creates it. it's looking like companies, certain kind of companies like CloudGen and now this other one with the lighting, they're kind of seeing a type of tech that they can do, and then they're bringing it to a game. Like they're partnering with Regen, the Regent or whatever, the developer for
Reagent,
Crackdown,
yeah.
Reagent. So it looks like you're going to get those type deals. So that's what's going to start to grow. Maybe the industry you start to see specific developers who actually can optimize something and bring it to a game, and then they meet with a developer like Reagent, and then they make a game. So this is all in starting right now, and Crackdown 3 is going to be probably the biggest game for us as gamers in 2016, because this is a new way to play. It's endless. What can happen? You can have cars that can have that type of physics. Imagine driving Forza and smashing up your car, or a Cryoton game. Burnout. I mean, there's certain things that there's so much you could really do once you get this going, and Microsoft's at the forefront, and that's huge. So I'm excited. But first, I think if we get a Sea of Thieves, if we get the truth on the water on that, that'd be huge. That's the next step. You want other developers to start using the tech. We only have one right now, aside from the other guys like Fable Legends doing what they're doing. When you open a box, you can randomly put up any kind of treasure. There's no predictability. But that type of stuff is pretty
It makes sense for Sea of Thieves being an online-only game, so
yes,
or likely online-only. We don't know for sure.
And a lot of people have said the water or something is just mesmerizing. They didn't believe it could be done like that, because it was like coming over the boat and smashing through, and it's possible. So very exciting times. And I'm very happy that Microsoft has now finally convinced people that this is real.
Well, I think they did have a problem, is that they touted the power of the cloud, but it has taken them 2 years to actually show what the cloud can do. I mean, okay, Titanfall and Forza used it for stuff, but nothing on the sort of level.
Connect Sports as well, right?
Here, yeah, but I mean, no, I don't. None of that was substantial like we're seeing now. So I do think the power of the cloud. When you see what they've got now, the fact that they were touting it 2 years ago, it's a bit like, well. It's kind of not a surprise that people
made fun of it,
scoffed at it. Yeah, when now they're showing it, and hey, it was real, but you have to show people if you're going to say it's real. And also now they did, and it looks good. I do think it is really good that I think they've bet on sort of cloud technology, whereas other people bet on VR. And it's like if VR is the one that sort of takes off, then they're going to be behind. But if cloud takes off, they're going to be...
No, just to throw it out there, the cloud is already a $17 billion a year business aimed at already trumping their Office and Windows businesses. The cloud is the better bet. Just throwing it out there. That's going to be where they make all their money.
But I mean, for gaming...
No. It's like cloud, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Cloud is where it's at.
It is pretty safe, though. Even though it's a big bet in a lot of ways, it's also pretty safe because it's using their own...
It's using their servers. It's their cloud.
So
they own the tech too.
They can afford to do this without taking too much of a loss if it is, a flop, let's say. So.
Yeah, because let's say if Sony wanted to do this, you're talking about investing billions of dollars into online
just for this.
Yeah.
For them to have it in first party, yes, but as far as I know, third party will be a part of Sony PlayStation 4.
No, yeah, they'll use Amazon and whatever, but it's always going to be a half step, while Microsoft is literally going, hey, if we need to pop more servers online, we can just do it.
No, but I'm saying if Sony wants this type of destruction and stuff like this in a third party multiplat, they're going to have to go through the third party, and that third party is going to be using Azure.
It could be. It definitely could be. That could be totally true.
Amazon has the same ability to spin up servers on a...
Yes,
no, on the fly, but it depends on the tech, though.
This tech works on Azure, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to develop their own tech.
And like I said, this doesn't come from just some petty sources. This is good sources.
Well, yeah, Sony would have to develop their own tech, and that would cost a lot of money.
They
so.
won't see it in their
that's-
first-party games. You'll see it in third-party games and multi-plats. Now the question is, is the third party gonna exclude Microsoft? Microsoft, they try to do that. Microsoft says we're not going to give you access to our tech or our cloud. That's the way this is going, guys. This is a cloud-first company, as they say.
Well, no, I don't see many third parties taking advantage of this, at least for multiplats, though, because if Sony can't do it, they're not gonna just make it for Xbox when it's not the leader. If it were a different situation and Microsoft were up 2-1, well, then maybe we'd see some more of that kind of thing. But
I think you're going to get somebody. You're going to get a developer that sees how powerful this tech is, and they're going to say,
wants to do it. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe.
you're going to get that. Maybe that'll make Xbox have a third-party exclusive deal on a game that wants to use this. But this is the future. I mean, listen, I'm a gamer since I've been a kid, and this is a change in gaming. This is what I've always wanted. I've always wanted this type of thing where you could blow up a whole world, or you can go in any of the buildings, and everything is there. I didn't think at the time that we were going to get this. We're almost there, and Crackdown 3, is either going to put up or it's going to shut up. But I think it's going to put up. I'm betting hard that it's going to be good.
Well, they're picking the right game to do it with, and they're just doing it in multiplayer alone. So it's a good. I don't want to call it a baby step, but it's the right step. It's not as risky as it could be. So I'm glad they're doing it this way.
No, it's like at the end of the day, everybody agrees that the cloud is the future, no matter what. That's where everything's headed towards. It's not going to be on-device computing. It's going to be over the internet. Like, that's just how it's going to end up. But this is the best half step you can make right now without actually sitting there and putting servers in people's houses. Like, you just... It's not going to happen.
Right.
You buy an Xbox, you get a server at your house?
No, look, honestly, let's be honest. Like 20 years ago, the Microsoft Vision was a server, and like it'd be like a water heater. You would have a server rack in your house in the middle of it, in a closet somewhere, and all your devices would connect to it. Like that was the dream of what personal computers were. And then it turned into like mobile phones and everything else, and like now it's, hey, we can do that same thing over the internet. You don't have to worry about that, and it's going to be it's how it's going to be. It's going to be all over the internet. But
all right, so we ready for another email?
Yeah, let's go to the next email.
So thank you for writing in, Old No Bones. This next email is from The Wicked Soul. He says, "Hey guys, I was wondering, what is the official snack and drink of the podcast? Mountain Dew and Doritos are already taken. You can't use that easy answer. Gamescom was pretty hype. Scalebound, Quantum Break, Crackdown are all going to be amazing. The article, adjective, noun combo you love saying. The Wicked Soul."
Wicked, I gotta say, we were talking about Code Red before the show, and Mountain Dew might be taken, but I think Mountain Dew Code Red should still be on the table. Are you guys in agreement with me or not?
Well,
I'll take it.
After your explanation, I'm sorry, Steve, but after your explanation, yes, this was before.
We talked about this. It's Tetley Tea and Aunt Bessie's.
No, we didn't. That was your answer. That was not considered.
What do you think, Dad? We'll take the dad as the final say, since he's dad.
What's more American than soda, Dad? What's more American than soda?
Freedom.
Freedom.
The freedom to choose the soda you want to drink, Vern. The freedom to choose the soda you want.
That should be the drink of the podcast. The soda you want to drink.
Freedom. America. Dad.
Okay.
Dad?
All right, so I'm going to have to go. You know what? You sold me on the Code Red.
So, all right. So it's Code Red.
It has to Code Red. It's an override. Code Red.
4-1. Code Red wins.
Well, I don't know if it's 4-1. Tim, where are you at? You're a Coke man.
Coke with ice, cold.
Okay.
Ice.
Like, no, I gotta ask. There's a lot of Cokes out there. Are we going to go just for original Coke, vanilla Coke, cherry Coke,
Crystal
just
Pepsi?
Coke, Crystal
Coke
Pepsi?
In a glass bottle, preferred.
Glass? No, I'm curious. So you're a glass bottle man, not a can man? I like can
I
myself.
don't really buy the glass bottle. I'll buy the cans because it's just the glass bottles are just too much.
They're too expensive. They're good though.
Expensive, clanking around. The wife gets mad.
Yeah. See, I don't like the plastic bottle. I can't stand it. I think they taste nasty.
Yeah, I
You're
can
not a
deal
fan.
with it. It depends.
Like a glass bottle's the best way to drink a Coke, in my opinion. That's the best way to go. Then the can, and then the small bottle, and then the 2 liter. I think they're the worst.
You know, if they had that Code Red in a glass bottle,
Oh my God, it'd be like
that'd be amazing.
it'd be just liquid cocaine. It'd just be
Yes, that is the a glass bottle red. It has to. We're gonna go with glass bottle red. It's
glass bottle of Code Red is the official drink on the Xbox Uncut podcast. A drink they don't even sell, but you know what? We want it. All right.
What about the food?
The food. This is a toughie.
I'm gonna say hogshead cheese.
Oh, no.
Hold on.
No, I don't. I can't think. I don't think I can
I
agree.
want the food of the podcast to be a cheese.
It's not a real cheese. Have you ever had hogshead cheese or head cheese in general?
Well, no, I only eat cheddar.
You're like European. You should know this shit.
he's exempt from this. He's
I'm not-
exempt.
You're not that far away from Germany, right?
We have like crackers.
See, I'm thinking about smoked pork butt. Like I want some. I want like a good food.
That's not really a snack, though. I guess
Yeah, it's
hogshead
not
cheese
a
isn't a snack either. So
You threw me.
we need something sweet.
Sweet.
No, we have
Maybe
the
sweet and
Code Red.
salty.
We have the
Okay.
Code Red. We got Code Red. That's sweet enough. We need something
Wait,
bitter.
it sounds like
Okay,
Steve's got an
Kit Kat.
idea.
Kit Kat. Kit Kats are good.
That's sweet
Kit Kats
though. I
are
think
good.
we need to go bitter though. I think more
We
bitter.
gotta go. We gotta.
No, because you want something that tastes nice.
But you
I
gotta
like-
combat
no.
the palate. We're going Code Red. That's strong.
Oh,
Code
no, that's
Red
the
is-
drink. We need. That's the drink. We need
Yes,
a snack
but-
as well.
No, yeah, but you got like the sweetest drink of all time, like pure sugar in a
Oh,
bottle.
so you're thinking to go with the drink?
Yes, this is a 1-2 punch.
We gotta go with potato chips or something then.
Yeah, potato chips.
Are we going Doritos?
How about
No, not Doritos.
How
No,
about, what about Cheetos?
Cheetos are solid. I'm a Cheetos fan. However,
Cheetos are really good.
You said pork butt.
pork. No, but that's more of a meal.
Wait. What about
Why
pork
not?
cracklins? Pork cracklins.
No, but I think it's a. You gotta.
They're spicy.
Can we have two? We can only have one food though. So
No. This is snack food. This isn't like a meal. That's
well,
why.
that's the
That's why I
question.
withdrew pork butt.
Was the question okay? So it's just a snack.
Yeah.
I'm going.
I mean, the official meal of this show, I'm just calling it right now, is pork
It's
butt.
the
It is
McRib.
smoked pork.
No, it's the McRib. We
No.
already discussed this a
Oh.
long time ago.
I know the McRib's delicious in so many ways, but it's still part like pork butt. Like I think smoked pork butt's the way to go. But for a snack, I don't know. I think you're right. It has to be a potato chip of some sort.
I'm gonna
Salts.
say Cheetos.
Wasabi peas. Wasabi peas are good, but I don't.
What about the what is the one? It has it's like
I like sour cream and
oil and
onion.
vinegar.
Oil and vinegar.
no.
That's. It's a little. It's strong. It's strong.
Well, because you gotta combat the red. Though. I mean, come on.
No, but you're gonna be drinking
What
that Code
about-
Red like a fucking 2 liter a minute eating oil and vinegar
How
chips.
How about jalapeno kettle cooked chips?
You can do something. That's actually not. It sounds very.
I'm not a big fan of kettle cooked chips. I don't like them.
Can we have dip? No dip.
I think
Okay.
if it's chips, it can be chips and dip as a snack.
Because onion,
Well, what
onion,
kind of dip?
onion dip.
French onion or
dip.
bacon and horseradish?
French. It's French onion
French
with Lay's
onion.
potato chips.
How
What
about
do you-
Ruffles? How
Ruff-
about Ruffles and French onion?
Oh,
Yeah, that's
a good-
a solid. That's
That's
a solid choice.
That's it.
It's a solid choice.
Yeah.
You guys, hold on. You guys have the worst taste. Hey,
You're
let's have,
exempt.
let's have an official snack of the podcast, and you don't choose something sweet and delicious.
We chose Code Red, sir. We chose Code Red.
How do you feel about this, Dad?
If anyone ever asks me about food, I always got to go with the old buffalo chicken. So I would have picked buffalo chicken dip.
It's a good choice, but
I just like the.
How about Ruffles and buffalo chicken dip?
No, I like the. Nintendo is really a heavy vote. You know, you got to respect it. So
Hey, if you guys,
I'm still
you know,
going Ruffles. I'm going Ruffles.
Ruffles and
French
French onion. Yeah,
Yeah,
I gotta say Ruffles,
it's a
French onion.
solid. It's a classic choice. It's a solid choice. I think this sounds too much like Sports Center at this point about potato chips.
Okay, so we're going with Ruffles and French onion,
Yeah,
and you
that's-
drink
About
that shit
due
down
Code
with some
Red.
Code Red. We're good.
We got an official snack. We got drinks. We're gonna drink this at what's the next gaming event?
We'll just do this. We should have next show. We should all have that.
We can do the video
I
game
can go to the
awards, maybe.
store.
So the video game awards. We will all be drinking Code Red.
I'll have my wife make me.
And wearing Sunside Overdrive caps.
Yes.
I don't have a son.
Turkey Hill ice cream makes a buffalo wing flavor. Ooh. That sounds dangerous, but totally doable.
Wait, buffalo wing ice cream? That sounds
Yes,
disgusting.
that sounds. I would try it. I would
I
try
wouldn't
it.
try it. I wouldn't try that.
No, I'm talking about a small can. I'm not talking about buying a quart of it. Like just like a small,
A small, like they give you in the
like
the
a
ice
little
cream
pint.
stores,
Yeah, just a little pint.
a little
I'd-
spoon.
I'd eat all of it.
I'm very hungry actually. So this is a
All
good
right.
conversation.
All right, let's talk about Mexican food for the week. Fajita nachos are delicious. Carne asada. If you haven't had tacos carne asada, try it today. But
What about shrimp bruschetta? That shit's
that's
good, man.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta move on to the next email. This next email is from the real Dauphin. He says, well, he asks, "Does it work?" Question mark. And then it's a whole bunch of letters and numbers building an image of the chess-playing guy from the Pixar digital short where he plays against himself. And it worked. It worked, Dauphin. So congratulations.
The email worked. You got
I'm
it
glad-
sent.
Yeah,
It worked.
the email worked. The picture worked. We're good. All right, next email. This is from Nathan. Nathan writes, "Hi guys, with Gamescom over and done with, are you satisfied with the amount of new stuff we saw? Personally, I'm a bit surprised we didn't see a brand new IP announcement, especially after Phil had been saying there'd be as much new stuff at Gamescom as E3. Obviously, I'm delighted we're getting a new Halo Wars game, something I'd been hoping for, and there was KI Season 3. Not a big fighting game fan myself, but still good to see. Then we had a few new features teased, but I found myself wanting more. Obligatory JRPG wine. Love the show, Nathan." Well, about the JRPG wine, well, we are getting Scalebound, which is an action JRPG, so that's pretty cool.
No.
That's
Just because
cool.
it's developed in Japan, that game is not a JRPG.
It had a lot of the JRPG goodness in it from what we saw.
Nah,
Look,
so-
wait.
You fucking
Let me
kicked
tell you.
open that chest.
Stop. Look, the only qualification for JRPG is kick open chest. All right, Steve. That's all you got to do. You can kick open a fucking chest with your foot. You're
Numbers
a JRPG.
flying everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like an action JRPG, you know?
Just
But-
because RPGs have like kind of turned into action games, and they're not
But
like, oh, let me choose what I'm doing next. And
I get it, though. It's not the Miss Walker game we wanted. It's not Lost Odyssey 2, which is what we really want, so I understand that.
I don't. Let's move on now.
Well-
also, to be fair, on the new games thing, he didn't actually say there'd be the same amount of new games. He said there would be as much distinct content at Gamescom
Yep.
as there was at E3, and unquestionably, that was true.
It was true.
Phil was always very specific in his wording. I mean, which you can't really take at face value. Sometimes you have to see what he's actually saying, and you know they hyped up the big 3 reveals: Crackdown, Scalebound, and Quantum Break a lot. And that was, you know, as much as they were announced last year, you know, they were sort of that was distinct new content. So
The indie section was strong, too.
yeah,
So, I mean, yeah. I immediately after, I was disappointed, just like you are, Nathan. But after I stepped
very
back,
disappointed.
after I stepped back for, I don't know, a couple of days and saw
That's
a
not
lot
true.
of
That's not true. I got online right when I got home when we did the show.
you did, yeah.
And Vern was like, "Oh, it was pretty good."
I know, but it took a few days of me seeing like articles written by the press and explaining the things they saw behind closed doors, and seeing some of those videos that were shown a few days later to really get a feel for what Microsoft had to show. And once that happened, I was more impressed with what they did at Gamescom. But initially, I was upset too.
I'd also say on the new IP front, you know, this gravy train has been very generous to us. You know,
It has.
Scalebound, Quantum Break, Sea of Thieves, Recore. I mean, those are 4 big projects, and Phil always talks about how hard it is to make new IP, and I think that
They're going all in.
as it stands, like I don't really know what 2017 and even unannounced for 2016 is going to be, but I don't think that I don't think they can keep showing us new things. I think it's more likely that next year, there'll be new things next year, but I think it's more likely at some point that they'll go, okay, here's a reboot.
You never go full retard. You never do it.
Well, we'll see new IP from Press Play and Twisted Pixel, but I don't think we'll see any more new AAA IP for a while.
I think we will. I think there will be 1 or 2 next year, but I wouldn't expect another. I wouldn't expect 4 AAA new IPs to launch every single year. I think if anything, as I said, this Gravy Train's been very generous to us, and I'm sure we can lick that up off the floor whilst we wait for the games to release. But it's been good to us. But I think they'll keep going, and they've got.
Well, the thing is,
Halo 16 next or something.
New IP are generally more successful in the beginning of a generation when people want something to buy, and then toward the middle to the end of generation is when you start revisiting content from previous generations, because there's a lot more people who have bought the console and will buy that, if that makes any sense. I think that's kind of the cycle that happens with consoles. So I think this is going to be the last year where we see 4 new AAA IP like that. So yeah, I agree.
But then, I mean,
they didn't really.
Oh, sorry. Go on, Chris.
I was just gonna say they haven't really followed that path this generation because they're already releasing all those remasters and everything from last gen now, while they try to build these new IPs.
Yes.
And Battletoads. And so yeah, I think we could see some more new IPs later on, but they'll probably just hopefully try to make these into franchises.
They got to make Banjo and they got to make Battletoads. So.
Oh, they're making Battletoads. There's no way now.
They need to, though.
I think he's talking, though, about Quantum Break, though. We're going to see Quantum Break 2. We're going to see, hopefully, Scalebound 2, Recore 2. Yeah.
I think... I can't remember what I was going to say now. Oh, well, I think the problem is that they've got... They will keep making new IPs because all of the IPs that they had that were successful towards the end of last generation that weren't Gears, Fable, Forza, and Halo were all the Kinect stuff, and obviously Kinect is dead. So I think that they do.
Kinect is not dead.
Well, okay.
And Rise, they don't even own. So.
Yeah, but the point is that they're not selling Kinect. I mean, Kinect Sports Rivals did not sell very well. So from the perspective of investing in those sort of big, well-known Kinect franchises, as it were, they're not gonna spend big on them because they, on that front, are dead.
Wait, just to answer, the Wicked Soul said Forza reboot. No, they're not rebooting Forza.
No.
I don't know how you would reboot a racing game anyway.
You just remaster the original.
You make it edgy.
You make it edgy.
You put it on the original engine. I don't know.
Blood and boobs, man. Blood and boobs.
Blood and boobs in a car race. But it already has that.
That's how you reboot, man.
Yeah.
I thought they had a very good show. And the 3 days after it really seemed to gain momentum. Most of it was from
Crackdown.
Crackdown 3 really seemed to really overshadow everything because people realized this is real. But overall, I give the conference like an 8.5. I think it might even been better than E3. I mean, they could have they could have really made E3 a 10 if they wanted to.
Yeah, E3 had that big backwards compatibility moment, though.
Right, but they could have added some of these games. This is a lot of games you're getting. And you're going to get more. Phil is all this money he has is going into first party and it's going into the cloud. So get ready because this is the future. And you're also going to get PC games. The mouse is definitely coming, and you're going to see some RTSs on the platform. So you might get a new IP that way too.
I think they'll go back to Age of Empires if they do another RTS.
And
they're doing Halo
Rise of Nations.
Or Rise of Nations, yeah.
They aren't right. You'll probably see them. So it's changing up a little, is what I'm saying. Is that now that PC Windows 10, it's probably going to be a unified release. It's looking like it's going that way. If how big the Microsoft, that they're going to go the Gears of 4 and that type of stuff, I think they are. Cross buy is going to be a thing, but we'll see some new IPs in that regard too. But right now, these are a lot, like Steve said. This is a lot of big IPs, so I feel very confident with their position on the first party. I mean, on the new IPs.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for writing in, Nathan. I hope we answered all your questions. Next writer is me.rashawn. Okay. Well, anyway, me.rashawn says, "Hi, gents." Oh, that's nice. "Let me start by saying you don't have to read this on air if you don't want to." Well,
We
sorry
do.
for you, we are reading it. "What I am about to say doesn't apply to you." Uh-oh. "I have been reading NeoGAF.
Just wait a
and
second.
GameFAQs."
Pause. I did not read this before Vern is reading it now. I'm just throwing it out there. So this is a raw email. So
Wow,
go.
raw.
This is
Yeah, I'm
Xbox
nervous.
Uncut.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very
Anyway.
awkward silence, then we shuffle on.
Anyway, me.rashawn says, "I have been reading NeoGAF and GameFAQs the past few years, and I recently had to take a break from those places. I still go on Reddit, wonderful place that Reddit. The reason I took a break from those places is due to the overwhelming negativity. What is in the hearts of hardcore gamers that makes them so batshit crazy? Seriously, what the bleep is wrong with these people? I am absolutely gobsmacked to see how hateful, cynical, irrational, and unreasonable
What-
many hardcore gamers are. Many of these people think of themselves as gaming enthusiasts, but I think of them as gaming extremists. What are your thoughts on console wars, the gaming community in general, and whether things have ever been this bad?"
All right, wait a second. I think we should leave the floor. I want to give my time to Tim. Tim, out of all of us,
video game extremist.
out of all of us, you are the extremist, Tim.
Yes.
No
okay.
offense, but you are.
Well, in my opinion, it's never been this bad. There's a lot of bad blood out there. And,
Just a quick question: do you remember the SNES Genesis wars? Because they were pretty fucking bad.
There was no social media. back then.
There weren't social media,
This is
but
bad.
people hated each other.
It's a very bad environment for developers. Is it going to change? I don't think it's going to change. People want to know. They want to have their PlayStation 4 or their Xbox, and they want to feel better than the next person that's next to them that lives next door. That's the way it is in a lot of places.
It's the way it's always been. But now they
yeah.
have Twitter and Facebook.
Exactly, and
yeah.
it's nasty. It's nasty. I've tried trying. I get mad and I fight with people about this, but I just feel like Microsoft is always hated on, especially on NeoGAF, where I find a lot of the negativity comes from there, and it's influencing other people and journalists. So it's an ugly situation, I think, and I don't foresee a solution. I just think when people are going to win, the sides are going to go back. But you make some very valid points. It would be nice if gamers could just become gamers again and just not worry about this stuff, but I think it's too far gone.
Yeah, we're already there, and it's going to continue.
See, the thing is...
Hey, wait, we got to take a moment and recognize the Ten Dad's children
New cast member.
and how they're all about to beat Nintendad up because they're all like,
You could say hi, Dash.
Hi.
hey, yeah.
Hey.
Did you just get back from martial arts?
Did you beat anybody up?
Did you beat anyone up? No.
That's
he
good.
didn't.
Oh, no.
He's
Soon
not
enough.
supposed to. He
Tell,
says you're
okay.
tell him he's supposed to beat his Nintendad up.
No, it's all about defense. He's learning defense, probably.
Yeah,
It's all defensive.
defensive. He has to defend himself from his dad.
No.
Did he learn the crush punch yet?
Not yet. Luckily.
Not yet. Where were we? Fanboys.
Thank you for being on the show, Dash.
Daddy.
Yes. See, I think that it's all about justifying your purchase, and this is, Nintendo fans do it, Xbox fans do it, PlayStation fans do it, PC owners do it. They invest all this money.
Wait a second, Steve. Wait, I know it's about justifying, and there are fanboys on all sides. However, aren't certain fans a little bit more outspoken than others?
I'm getting to that.
Just a
can't-
little bit.
You can't.
Just let him
you can't
let him
just-
go. Let him go. Let's listen.
You can't just cut me off, bro.
Yes, I can. I'm the goddamn host. That's what I do.
You can, but you know.
But I'm
right.
sorry. Go ahead.
So you have all these people that they pick a machine, right, whichever one it is, okay, and then they turn around and go, well, I've invested in this machine and I want that to be successful and thrive, and I want everything to come out of this.
Right now.
And obviously this enables sort of some bad, blood when, you then have this, the sort of more reasonable people that are just happy, with what they've got, but then you get the more unreasonable people that are, they want to justify it, but also there are some people that are incredibly insecure about their purchase, and I've seen it a lot. They are clearly very insecure about what they have bought, and that makes them snappy, particularly on social media. This is rampant in my opinion. Snappy about when the other platform gets brought up and that sort of thing, because they don't like it. But on the other hand, you get the people that just hate the other product, and they also are extremists because they specifically want the other one to fail. And so this, I think that's just generally how it is. And then I think that's when people start to forget the fact that they're playing video games because they want to crush the other one.
And if it feels like PlayStation fans are the most outspoken and the most hating types, it's because the console is it's also outsold the Xbox One 2-1.
No,
so you're looking at a big,
I'm going to argue. Even
listen,
last generation.
Let me finish.
2-1,
You're looking at a huge ratio of fanboys of one to fanboys to the other. So one is going to be louder.
No.
And
See,
more
I'm arguing because you're saying that it's the ratio. I'm saying last generation with PS3 and 360, it was split half and half. PlayStation fans were louder. They've always been louder. They're a dedicated group. They have literally taken over
longer.
Yeah, like even though there's the same amount, PlayStation fans are louder and their fanboys are crazier. They just are. For a long time, there was Xbox 1.5 for the first 3 years of the 360 generation, until after Gears and everything else was coming on. And I just want to say, if you're missing the video show, you could be watching the 10 Dad dadding it up right now.
It's good stuff.
Like I've been watching the 10 Dad. He's been pointing just over there, just go like dadding it up, like just.
And as far as like something like NeoGAF, which was mentioned, a big thing about NeoGAF is there's just a bunch of mods there who have a certain preference, and they kind of moderate based on that preference. So you kind of just have to get over it.
Yeah,
it happens, and it sucks, but it happens. But Microsoft's definitely repaired their image quite a bit, and the louder the hate gets, the more it's just because they're salty.
But this is the thing, is that you can always tell. Like this week, like going on NeoGAF, and there's been a ton of Phil Spencer
hate
quotes and stuff come up, and you can tell when Microsoft has done something good, as you said, because the people that don't like him, they're finding less and less to complain about. So the second that something pops up, and this isn't just exclusive to NeoGAF, this is on Twitter, this is everywhere, is that when they find something to pipe up about, they have to double down because they don't know when they're next going to get an opportunity to do it.
And they look crazier and crazier.
And
they're
another thing
is stupid stuff now.
And it's not that they're like going after the crazy stuff. It's that Xbox fans have got so much good news over the past since the Xbox launch. Like, and I know they launched shitty and people didn't like some of the shit, but like we've got nothing but game announcements nonstop. Like the media approach that Microsoft has gone, except for like the first 6 months, has been outstanding. Like we always have something to talk about. You have Aaron Greenberg, you have Major Nelson. They're all on Twitter talking to people. Like the outreach has been perfect, and
the features have been good too.
Yeah,
on a monthly basis. Yeah. And then even the media is responding lately. You're seeing really good write-ups from publications in Europe. I mean, for a long time.
Should, though.
No, they should, but you got Xbox fans with all these exclusives to talk about. You have all these features they're talking about. It's been a non-stop news cycle for Microsoft for a long time. While Sony fans...
You're right, though. The European... I know Gamer Radar is very...
Games Radar, Eurogamer... what VG247. That's a European publication, right?
Yeah, they got
Metro UK. All those publications were very, very negative. And just over the last few months, they've been a lot more positive than I'm used to seeing. So, whatever Microsoft's doing is right. So, just be happy with that.
How could you say Microsoft is engaged with its fans? They're listening to everything. They're giving us value upon value over everything. And the bottom line is just like I said about this whole console war things. It's not two ways. Xbox fans are fanatics too, so it really balances itself out. But
I don't think it balances itself out. I really don't.
you have Xbox.
But this is what I'm going to tell you though, Tim. Is what happens is you got these PlayStation fanboys that are totally against anything Xbox. They'll hate anything that comes on Xbox.
They won't even get an Xbox.
All right, and Microsoft essentially is poking them every time they make a new announcement, every single week. And then every time we hear PSN news, it's either, hey, PSN went down again. Hey, 3.0 is coming out and it's pretty much a stability update. There's it's not Sony's
They're not on the same level.
It's just not done a good news. No, but Microsoft essentially is poking the PS4 fanboy bear.
Right. But
and part of it is because their backs were up against the wall, so they had to deliver. They had to. So if maybe you can be upset about all these fanboys, but at the same time, them going crazy like they did, it gave us better games and a better experience. So,
but I understand what the person's saying because it is really disgusting to go on these sites, and like I said, I'm smacked out in the middle of it. But if it could be a better world where we could just all play games and be friendly and like each other, it would be good. But it's not. It's not realistic. It's just this is the way it is. This is the way social media is. People want to say their stuff is better than the guy next door. Sony fanboys are very extreme. So are Xbox, and they clash.
No, they do. But I would say there's more Sony fanboys than Xbox fans.
And this isn't even just in video games. This is Star Wars versus the Lord of the Rings. This is Marvel
really? Wait
DC.
A second. Pause. You brought PlayStation versus Xbox. Marvel versus DC is then Star Wars versus what?
It was a joke. The triumphed insult dog skit.
Don't try and back out of this now, man.
But I do think
the original fight is Star Wars versus Star Trek. Maybe I need to see this skit.
I don't know what the case is or how it's so influential, but I do think that NeoGAF has a really a big effect on console wars.
No, but I think it's been thinning since Reddit has become popular and how crazy the fanboyism has been.
Just
to the
go
point
read
where
Phil Spencer.
Well, they get worried. People get worried about GAF, but I don't think they necessarily care much about the actual people at GAF now.
Yeah.
They do word things in a way, or they kind of pivot around situations based on what GAF would say, and I understand that because GAF's loud, but they're not doing things because GAF wants it.
Because at this point, but
it does put itself. It puts it in the person's head. Just like when Quantum Break came out. I'm going to give you a perfect example of how it's hard to be a developer. Okay, that publication that comes out, that was the #1 trending thing on NeoGAF.
Oh, the stupid Kotaku article.
Yes, I'm going to tell you right now, though, that is now embedded in journalists because journalists, in my opinion, aren't that. They're not into it like I am, or anybody on this podcast. They basically go to NeoGAF and they'll get an idea like that, and they do play to fanboy preferences. I really do believe that. I think that they are either a Sony or Microsoft.
I think it's only certain publications, honestly.
But yeah, there is. But being that came out, that game now is not going to score that. It's not going to be a 90 Metacritic game because
you don't know that.
I'm pretty sure it's probably people are going to dock the game for the TV.
Tim, the only publication that said this, okay, was Kotaku, and they don't even give review scores anymore.
I know, but they put it in the minds of people.
This is what I'd argue.
I see people talk
they
about
put it in the minds of fanboys another console.
Go look at the Eurogamer interview. They said Phil goes, well, let me ask you, and then the Eurogamer person responded, well, I'm not really a fan of the TV stuff, but I like what I saw so and so. But that's the type of things that it happened to the Order. It happened to Rise.
Yeah, but the TV thing goes all the way back to the TV sports TV stuff from the beginning of the Xbox. That doesn't have anything to do with the
I
Order.
think people have now had that in their mind, is what I'm saying, and that's where I find like where it's really a tough thing, because I do think that the journalists now are in that realm where they used to just be talking.
No, I get where you're coming from, Tim, but what I'm going to say is, just like you did, is game developers at this point have moved on from GAF, and they have moved full force into Twitter and Reddit, because they can create a Reddit page for their company, put all their releases, get direct interaction with the largest social media piece of all time, largest form of all time, and they can say fuck GAF. They don't have to do it.
But the thing
GAF used to be really important, because having a dedicated forums for video games was rare. You didn't see stuff like that, and that's why you had Team Xbox, you had GAF, you had all these forums, and now all those people went to Reddit. All those people went to Twitter. GAF is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. And yes, it's true, the Wicked Soul brought up that GAF got the Treehouse guy fired. That's definitely true, but that was more at the beginning of this this role, and game developers have really been picking up this mantle of Twitter.
To get back to this about Treehouse, I think it might have actually had to do with Japanese social media, because apparently the translation of that particular podcast made it sound a lot worse than it was, and it blew up on social media in Japan, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's where the order came from. So.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. The thing is that NeoGAF, like I said, is a central point, because they do this type of stuff. They focus on the negative, and if they are very influential. Just like when DRM, they were the first people. They have those. You look at the NeoGAF. If you know your top trending story, you know that's what they're going after. And I see it far too many times with things that, like, when that came out, I felt bad, because Remedy is one of my favorite.
Tim, I'm going to go off my own bullshit statistic, and I can tell you right now, when I look for news each week for what's going on, at this point, I'm seeing less and less and less stuff for NeoGAF posts that go, hey, look, this is news, and more, look, Phil Spencer just tweeted this out on Twitter. Twitter's becoming it's becoming the larger form of social media for video games.
I hope so.
It's not. I hate to say, GAF is losing its appeal. It's just losing its power.
I like.
It's coming second tier for news. You're going there to be in a dedicated community of gamers.
Developers are avoiding NeoGAF now,
it's
they
becoming
used to be more
a second tier.
active before.
I think it's a lot. It's still huge. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying NeoGAF is not as big as it's ever been, but it's becoming second tier. Like Twitter is becoming first tier.
The thing is that we all know it's a bias site. We all know that people say, if people give you reasons why it's a bias site. It's a bias site. It's influential. It's not good. It's negative. And like I said, it's a big source of all of this.
All right,
all that goes along.
We should move along.
We should
move along.
But thank you for writing. It was actually Chaos Dash.
Yeah.
Chaos Dasher, right? Or Dash. I don't remember. Let's look. Chaos Dash. Yeah.
Dasher. You forgot to write Chaos Dasher, is what he wrote.
No, it's Chaos Dash.
Read what he wrote. Forgot to write Chaos Dasher.
Oh, okay. But in Twitch, he's called Chaos Dash. But on Xbox Live, he's called Chaos Dasher. That's why.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chaos Dasher.
Yes. Next letter. Hey guys, I recently underwent surgery, which means I'll be going through my backlog of games. This includes Forza Horizon 2, FIFA 15, Madden 15, and Titanfall. You heard right. I'm playing these games after all the hype has died down. Actually, I was consumed by Destiny for the longest time. Also, school got in the way. What's the longest a game ever sat in your backlog? Xbox One or any other console? Power Stone 2, anyone? Anyway, keep on keeping on. Jason.
All right, before anybody says
chemist.
anything.
Well, I didn't say PS. He's got a postscript here.
I'm sorry.
Postscript. I forgot to mention last time. Shout out to the listener making the badass intros. They're fan-freaking-tastic.
Thank you so much, One Saint.
Yes.
All right, now, just to qualify this question, because he's kind of open, when backlog is going to mean I want to play it, I plan on playing it, I just haven't played it yet. Not I bought it and it sat there and I gave up on it. That's not part of your backlog. That's just giving up. So what have you
It's part
just
of your
sat on?
crap log.
Yeah. So this is a game that you still want to play and you plan on playing, you just haven't. And me and Vern were talking about this last night, I believe, and I think Tomb Raider, the definitive edition, has been... It's sat in my backlog for like, what, has it been out like a year and a half? Almost... It's been out a long time. And I kept looking at it. I own it on PC, Xbox, or Xbox 360. I just never beat it and played through it. I'd play like 10, 20 minutes and just stop playing it. But I just finished it recently, and it's an awesome game. I can't wait for Rise of the Tomb Raider. But that's probably the game that sat in my backlog the longest.
For me, it was Far Cry 4 for a little while. It sat in there for a while from holiday season. But right now, I'm getting the feeling it's going to be The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
It's like I want to play it, but I just can't get myself to play it. And I have a feeling this is going to go on for a long time.
Tim, what's in your backlog?
Well, I have so many games.
What's not in your backlog?
I have so many.
Like
games.
I said, games you still want to play but haven't given up on.
Dragon Age is one that I want to try to get into. I think that it can be a game that I like. Witcher 3, I'm definitely gonna revisit. It's just too good. It's just I need to dedicate time to it. And get into it. That might be actually what if I do play tonight, I might play after. Although right now I'm playing Rare Replay, but I would say Dragon Age I have to touch it.
I think that you should play Dragon Age before The Witcher because you won't want to go back to Dragon Age after you've played The Witcher.
Whatever. I played The Witcher for 20 hours, and I went back to Dragon Age Inquisition, and I'm having more fun with that than I have with The Witcher.
It's because you're a madman. You're a madman.
The Witcher more, though. I agree with Steve. I would like The Witcher more. So I'm probably gonna that's my next task. I'm trying to finish some certain games, but that one I'm gonna look forward to, and Batman too. But I'm just waiting on Batman. I'll probably play that again.
All right, and Dad, what is on your backlog?
Well, ones that
Every
actually...
game.
Wait,
released.
stop. What is not on your backlog?
That'll probably be a shorter answer. Actually, the one game because I hooked up my... you can't see it, but I hooked my Xbox 360 up to my main TV. So I've been playing that, and I want to... I only played through the intro of Fallout 3.
Wow.
So I kind of want to play that before Fallout 4 comes out. But at the same time, I was also talking to Vern about how I never beat Alan Wake.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow, you gotta play that.
Gotta play it.
So I'm going to start from the beginning Alan Wake on Sunday, and
Nice.
hopefully
Just quick
get
question.
sometime next week.
Do you own it on 360 or PC?
360.
Buy it on PC.
Yeah?
It supports controller. It's going to look about 100 times better.
Yeah, you can run it really nice.
Yeah, I'd go PC for it. I'm not
for sure.
And you could probably pick it up for $3 on PC at this point.
But you don't get achievements.
Oh, well,
And he's
then I
probably
won't
not
get it
going to
on
be playing
PC.
on this TV.
I will be because my wife is going to California with the kids for 2 weeks. So I'm going to hook my big massive PC up to my TV.
Can I come over?
Okay. Yeah, do it.
Can I sleep over at night?
You got a 4K TV too, right?
Yeah.
Where
Point at it. Is it in the room? Take your camera.
We'll order pizza. We'll have Mountain Dew and Coke.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're going to have Code Red?
Code Red, yeah.
Buffalo chicken dip.
And no Ruffles and French onion dip.
No, we'll have both, though. This isn't a show. For the show, we'll try both.
Kit Kats.
And Kit Kats, I can get that. I'm coming over. Just
Wait, Steve, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole too much, but when we talk about Kit Kats, are we talking about original Kit Kats or that new big Kit Kat bar, which is just like a giant Kit Kat?
You mean the Kit Kat Chunky?
They call it the bar over here.
What do
where
they
I'm
call
at.
it there?
Kit Kat Chunky.
Chunky?
Yeah.
It sounds kind of bad, but I think we're talking about the same thing. It's just like a giant Kit Kat, right?
Look, I'll be honest. I do prefer the Kit Kat Chunky. However, I do love Kit Kats in general.
No, they're both
so
great. I'm not
so-
saying they're both great snacks. I'm just
cookies
curious.
and cream Kit Kats, the 4-bar one. I could dig that.
Right in that
Okay.
rabbit hole. All right.
BYOS. Stacks.
Wait, Steve. Your backlog.
Okay,
Vern
so I've
tried
got
to
my
interrupt
spreadsheet
you.
here, and I'm having a look. Okay.
Oh my
They
God!
are-
It's a spreadsheet, people. It's a spreadsheet. Steve Rule's new article. My backlog, 2001. No,
So,
2001
so,
games I want to play.
I've completed 201 games since the 17th of February 2008. Okay. More importantly, so I've got them all arranged in order. Okay, and the oldest game on here is actually Fallout 3, which was released in October 2008. So, I
So
suppose
what you're
Fallout-
saying is you and Nintendo need to get together,
Mm,
and you need to play Fallout 3.
yeah. I at first I didn't have the release date for Fallout 1 here, and I was about to say Mini Ninjas, but I checked and it was Fallout.
All right, let's move it on.
What's wrong with Mini Ninjas?
Moving
I
on.
love
No,
how
it's
you
just
play
we're
these
at
games.
the end of the letter.
We got one last letter.
Thank you so much for writing it.
I will play it. I'll try it.
Yeah, thank you for writing in, Shady Chemist. Last letter. This is from Moz6142. Moz says, "Hi. EA Access continues to evolve with the potential of adding 360 backwards compatibility games to the vault. What other ways do you guys see this service evolving? Maybe early access to games like the new game preview on Xbox, exclusive betas, or maybe a rewards program that can earn you a visit to EA-owned studios in real life." Whoa, those are big goals. What are your thoughts on Kotaku's recent game previews for Halo 5 and Quantum Break? For a site that prides itself on its journalistic integrity, they seem quite lazy. Saying that Halo is just now copying COD, misinforming people about Quantum Break when there is a leaked audio of the behind the closed doors demo contradicting a lot of what the writer says. Also, do you potentially see Microsoft introducing backwards compatibility game bundle codes to sell consoles in Q1 of 2016? For example, an Xbox Action Bundle with a single game code for 360 backward compatibility games for Bayonetta, DMC, Metal Gear Vengeance, etc. Lastly, recent interviews from Xbox execs seem to suggest that their role in PC gaming is more of a support for ecosystems like Steam rather than just trying to compete. Phil Spencer's interview made it sound like he is trying to entice the PC gaming audience into buying Xbox, especially when he talks about picking and choosing the first-party titles that are available on both. When looking at the types of games they plan on bringing over, like Fable, Gears, Ultimate Edition, Halo Wars, Gigantic, KI, apart from Gears, all those games benefit Xbox users with a greater user base. Considering Xbox Live Gold will never be removed for Xbox users, brings in a lot of money, but not required for PC, I see the Xbox app being a gateway to console gaming for PC users. Thank you.
You're
Those are all
welcome.
good points.
Huh?
That's good.
Oh.
Very good
That's-
question.
That's a good letter. That's a good letter. So we should start with EA Access. What do you guys think about that as far as how things may change with backwards
They're gonna-
compatibility?
So
Just
so
add
they-
more games.
Just adding
they-
games.
So they're gonna basically just re-release Battlefield 4, which was, that was a game preview, wasn't it?
Pretty
No,
much.
but Battlefield 4 is already on the service. Why would they release a 360 version for Xbox One?
I think you missed the joke.
He was joking about game preview.
They talked about game preview, and when Battlefield 4 came out, it was broken.
So Battlefield 5 is what you're talking about then.
No, never mind. He said they're already released.
I know
that
it's a
before any
joke
game
about how Battlefield 5 is going to be broken. I get it. So,
preview. Okay, Kotaku. What do we think about
Kotaku is a piece of shit, and I'm not afraid to say it. And their whole, well, we just posted it on our site because it's actually our sister site and a sister publication that did it, and we take no credit for the shit we post on our front page. Fuck you. That is your front page. You decided to repost
But-
their article. That is you take credit for what they said when you posted on
is-
your site.
It is pretty telling, though. It means they know they screwed up and they know they're shitty articles. Otherwise, Jason Schreier wouldn't have come out and said, that he pretty much came out and disowned those articles, saying that they didn't have anything to do with him and with his side of the site. So,
But
that he came out and said that means he acknowledges that they're shitty articles.
But
Yes,
you've got to
they're
bear in mind
shitty
is that
articles,
he's
but
also, he is also heavily against previews. This isn't a new thing. He has been against previews for a very long time, and I also think Jason Schreier does great work. I really do. I like him a lot. So if he turns around and says to me, "Well, from what he said, it's not how he wants to run Kotaku, or how he wants it to be done." So I just blame Brits.
Yeah, blame your people.
No, that's fine to blame them. But when you put something on your front page, you take fucking the heat for it. That is your page. Steve, if you wrote an article or posted an article, or no, if you wrote a 2001 reason why Gamescom is going to be awful for Microsoft, and I posted it on my site, I would have to take credit for it because I ripped off your article and put it on my site, and it would be like, yeah, I thought it was right.
Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, exactly. Like that makes sense. But we need to explain. I mean, the Halo and Quantum Break articles, they were terrible. They, like what Moz is saying here, they didn't even check the facts. There was so much wrong stuff in both those articles.
Well, they were like, jetpacks are the very first time they're ripping off Call of Duty. It was like, jetpacks have been in Halo longer than Call of Duty. Well, they ripped off Sprint. Well, Sprint has been in Halo longer than not long, but you know what I mean. It's just bullshit.
Sprinting is something that people have done since the beginning of time.
But this is a dumb, it's literally arguing the dumbest points. It's Halo's done.
I'm going to be honest with you. When I heard the Quantum Break article, I felt like it was upsetting because I was like, oh no, this is going down the wrong path. I felt like I was like, oh, this reminded me totally of the Order, the type of impressions that they were given. But I felt a little better when another publication, Windows Central, even though it's Windows Central, posted it, and it was a really good article. And it showed that the game is really deep, and actually the author of it said that the person who wrote that article, the rubbish article, because they had to have that headline, which was, to me, that was the problem that I had.
That was unprofessional.
The headline was really I don't have a problem with somebody having an opinion, but the headline really was too much. And it wasn't good, but I think the game is fine. Like I said, I know Vern's he feels strongly, but I really want the game to be good. I love Remedy, and the TV part, if it ties in, I will watch the TV.
But Tim, that was the only really negative preview. I mean, IGN had good stuff to say. GameSpot had good stuff to say. Video Gamer was it? No, not Video Gamer. Games Radar had really good stuff.
Well, see, that's
to say
the thing.
about
the only thing that was talked about was that.
Well, I mean, there's other publications. Just to throw somebody else under there, so we're not just talking about Kotaku. Kind of Funny came out, and Colin Moriarty, he said, Scalebound worried him because there were frame rate issues because they showed it off, and you never see frame rate issues or problems in games when you're initially showing them off. And it's like, well, if that's the case, I would have saw issues with fucking Uncharted and saying that game's a POS and it crashed and
twice. Both times it showed it crashed.
You don't hold games to that kind of fucking standard on a publication shouldn't.
Yeah,
not for that.
They should be a little bit, I mean, I hate to say it, even, this is on the subject, but it's a little off where, a publication writes, Eurogamer comes out where the very high setting for streaming is, is something you have to edit a code. Okay, this is written on Eurogamer where you have to edit a code and you have to put true to false to true to get the setting to use, which is 1080p 60 frames per second streaming. They're editing a file, then they go into how it doesn't work well. I mean, that's the type of stuff where it's just are you serious? You're doing analysis of something that's not
that was disabled.
That was disabled, and you're enabling it. I mean, that's the type of stuff that really it angers me because it's just. Come on, we're being a little bit too much. It's way too much. And that developer, Block King, what's his name, Kamiya? He's gonna have his game without frame rates. He's a very good developer. So I think that's too much.
Vern, what did Colin Moriarty say about scalebound frame rate? Was he complaining about it?
He was complaining on it on the
I don't
latest.
remember exactly.
It was on the latest show.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I heard
He
about
said he was talking about how it didn't look very smooth the first time they showed it, and he said it kind of reminded him of the first time that they showed
The Order.
The Order.
Yes.
Yeah, but they
Ah.
said that. They said that the first time they saw The Order. Actually, he wasn't lying about that.
No, but he was like, it looked bad, and that way the frame rate was an issue, and that tells you that it should be a bad game. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's
that you
stupid.
should that's retarded. Like, I've never like criticized a game because, well, the frame rate wasn't great, so that's probably not going to be a great. Like the problem with The Order had nothing to do with visuals.
Well, they have
nothing at all.
another. They have another chance with Scalebound though. They'll have a big blow at E3 next year. So.
But I'm sorry. I mean, Colin Moriarty is a well-known PlayStation fan, put it that way. But
No, not to like go right after him, but like they've been pretty fair. They've been pretty fair lately. Like it's
Colin's a fanboy.
no,
He's a fanboy.
sorry, I don't agree. But apart from that, right? Last time I checked, the Scalebound the gameplay demonstration at the end said Holiday 2016, right?
Yep.
It didn't say Holiday 2015. It said Holiday 2016, right? And I've seen other people mention this, and I've said the same thing to them. I say to Colin, right? It's anything between 13 and 15 months out. Phil Spencer said this in his Eurogamer article. Optimization is the frame rate.
Very last thing.
Is the last thing you do. Complaining about frame rate, I'm sorry, in any game, this far out is the most ridiculous thing you can do. I'm sorry, I don't care what game it is. I don't care. I don't know. Think of a game I hate. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
A year out.
100%.
Sorry,
Thank you, Steve.
it's bullshit.
Well, that and behind closed doors that didn't have frame
Colin-
rate issues.
And the sad thing is that Collins, and IG, he's really high up, and he doesn't get that. So that just goes to show you where the journalists, where they're at right now. They're just looking to complain, or they're looking to, put something down, and that ties into that question.
Well,
That's
and the more this happens, the more the media won't be allowed to even view these things. So they need to be careful with that stuff. I mean, at some point,
shouldn't even be doing that. You should just think, what Steve just said. If you're a gamer and you know this industry, how do you complain? Like, I saw the hitching on Scalebound, but you know who the developer is. First of all, you know that the game, like you said, is an early release, an early build. I mean, you can mention it, but to say you're concerned over it is
well,
just.
Tim, we also know that behind closed doors, the frame rate wasn't as big of an issue. So there was a new build they were showing behind closed doors.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just Steve put it great. He's a fanboy, and it's sad.
I'm not upset that it was mentioned, but to okay, the Scalebound frame rate maybe it didn't look too hot, but I'm sorry, but to start judging a game and comparing it to something like The Order, I'm sorry, The Order had huge problems from the second that they showed it. It looked that way from the very beginning. I'm sorry, it's a cameo game. I don't see these problems. The gameplay looked great. The different systems looked interesting. The sort of just the general game that they were making look interesting. And The Order had a lot of promise. But we can't act like people weren't concerned about that game the second that they showed it.
Yeah.
There's no comparison. Oh well, I'm sorry. It's 15 months from The Order didn't have a shit frame rate.
Yeah, there's a lot of Sony fans out there trying to. Whenever something doesn't run well or looks like it might not be good, they try to force that idea that it's going to be like The Order. Like we're seeing that a lot with Quantum Break right now.
Yeah.
It's a forced narrative, and we don't know.
Stinks. Why are we dealing with forced narratives? It's games.
I know.
That's the crazy thing.
It's sad.
It's sad. That's cool. What
And I wasn't trying to like throw kind of funny under the bus. I just wanted to bring up another example of this issue.
I'm glad that Steve put him in that place.
But like kind of funny, I think overall it's a great show. Everybody should check it out. I like the personalities overall.
Greg Miller's hilarious.
Yeah, it's worth watching.
I don't like them. I don't like them, and don't watch this show. That's my opinion.
Okay, that's fine. I just like I do like their personalities. Look, I'll put it this way: I'm not the biggest fan of the I like the personalities from the Giant Bomb crew. I think they have it's an awesome show. They get great personalities. I think their news is it's kind of rough, but
Yeah.
I like the personalities and it's I enjoyed listening to it and watching it because I like the personalities.
Yes, I don't want to call out someone individually, but I'm sorry. I just think that that's picking and trying to make something
out of nothing. Yeah.
That it's not. I'm sorry. Like, as I said, if we still have these issues,
and those are Sony guys. Those are Sony guys too. That's what they're talking about. Xbox.
If they still have these issues at Gamescom 2016 and it's launching in say September, even people talking about Halo, okay, is it Digital Foundry noted a huge improvement between E3 and Gamescom?
Yep.
Because and that's an October
Block
game.
60 at Gamescom.
And it just the thing is, I don't want to keep moving goalposts, but the builds aren't the Gamescom and the E3 builds aren't from the day before. They're from
months before.
And then, and when you as I said, it's not that I have a problem with people mentioning these things. It's when you start comparing them and stuff, and it's just, I'm sorry, I just don't think it's a particularly good.
Hey, don't compare anything to the Order. Come on, for real.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Of all the things I would be concerned about in Scalebound, the frame rate is not fucking one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I look at Scalebound, like I watched it at Gamescom. I went, that looks kind of cool. Not really my kind of cup of tea, but it looks cool. Like I didn't have an issue with it.
That's right up my alley. Okay. Next part of the letter. What do we think about bundling Xbox 360 codes with Xbox Ones? Tim seemed to think that might be a possibility when we were chatting earlier before the podcast. So.
Gears of War collection will bundle all the Gears of War games.
I'm going to say the 50 game console, $349, 30 game, rare replay plus 20 backward compatibilities, backward compatibility games. The fun thing is, and I've heard Ybarra talk about this, it opens up a ton of scenarios. I think
you're limiting yourself, Tim. Just to throw it out there real quick. The Rare Replay bundle with your 20 games plus a year of EA access.
Yes, the 63 game bundle. With early access.
Well, they could hit 50 easy if you have EA access.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, Microsoft should really push this because that is value. You could really put a lot of good games there too.
Let's be honest, that'd be cheap. That's $30 for EA access for a year. It's $30 for Rare Replay. That's easily 50 games right there.
That's a game. That's one game that you would bundle. The same cost as one game.
And they're gonna have a backward compatibility bundle. I've already mentioned that to Aaron. I know that the Xbox team's looking at stuff like that. They're going to be using the backward compatibility a little egregiously. They're going to just, they're going to go the Peter Moore motto. You just throw games at people, and you know what? It after a while starts to take effect. So at least they're hoping. So yes, you're going to see a backwards compatibility, in my opinion, a bundle.
Are we talking about the Peter Moore that brought us Kinect?
Didn't he bring us Kinect?
Yes,
no,
he did.
He was gone before Kinect.
No, he was
the
one of the prime movers of Kinects. He marketed the fuck out of that.
Why would it? No, when did he leave?
Peter Moore was well gone by then.
No, if you listen to the IGN interview, he talks about his time with Kinect.
Well, he was in it from the beginning, but he wasn't there when it launched.
All I remember was Matrick going on E3 when he was going, the Kinect, guys.
The Kinect,
he had his hands like that. I was like, we're in trouble.
They had the technology, but it wasn't really going anywhere. And Don Matrick came in and said, well, we should do something with this because it's pretty good.
Yeah, he was gone in 2007.
No, but he still had a role and bring that shit to us. You crazy if you don't think they didn't.
Well, Peter Moore, though, he did say, we're going to kill him with value, and I think Xbox is on that route, and I think it's a smart route right now because that is an advantage they have over the competition.
Yeah, he was gone 3 years before Kinect came out.
But one thing you mentioned about the bundle, I mean, if they put Gears Ultimate Edition in there, I know that the one to Judgment.
You want the Gears, yes.
But ends on like 31st December. But if you bundled Gears Ultimate Edition and then kept those other 4 games in,
Yes.
That's another
A
5.
35 game. It's a 35 game bundle. I mean, how could that not sell good?
And add EA access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, EA access.
I mean, 47 game bundle right there.
That's 50,
I mean,
I bet.
No, that's 47.
Is it
Because
only
you're getting
47?
Gears. Yeah, that is the bundle. That is honestly a crazy bundle, but it's doable.
Well, hold on.
Gears, rare
fucking
replay.
MCC?
I'm going to DM Aaron about this, and EA access.
Why don't you chuck in MCC with an ODST code as well? That's another 5.
There you go.
If we add that too, you can make it a 50 game bundle. Halo, Gears, rare replay, and EA access. It's like a 57 game bundle. They have to listen to the show. I mean, you can even see GameStop, a 57 game.
I'll take my check as soon as possible. Just DM me, Aaron, and
How much gamer score is that?
oh my god, that's 10,000. What is it?
Nintendo Dad, what do you think?
Well,
Would you buy another Xbox? Tim
No.
would.
I'm holding out for the Viva Pinata Special Edition Xbox.
I feel you. I feel you, Nintendo Dad. I feel you.
I don't see them releasing a bundle with an M-rated game.
They already
That's not that is a smart idea because they want.
They already have Gears of War
Yeah.
Ultimate Edition's M-rated, and they're releasing a bundle.
No, he's saying 50 game bundle, rare replay with less than what is the rating we're going?
Rare replay is M because it has to be M because of Conquer.
Oh yeah, well it says, what's it say on the box? E to M?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so parent special is we can't use a parent special.
Okay, last part of the letter. What do we think about PC gaming? He mentioned, about supporting PC rather than necessarily pushing PC. You know what I mean?
Well, they don't
Just
really...
be there.
Sorry, Karen Van.
I was just saying, just kind of being there to help the ecosystem, like Steam, rather than compete with it.
Well, they don't really have much of a choice, do they? I mean, if they go in and Phil's talked about how he doesn't like giving grandiose promises and statements. I mean, if they go in and say, "Yeah, we're gonna steamroll Steam," they will get laughed at, both in terms of from how people read the statement to what will actually happen in execution. So the best thing to do is to try and sort of win people over from Steam. I think they should be offering incentives like cross-buy. But I say, well, if you buy it through Steam, you still use like the Xbox stuff.
Big sales.
But you won't get your cross-buy. And if people turn around and say, well, I don't like that, just say, well, that's not my problem.
Tough shit. I mean,
Yeah. And for a lot of people, that won't be a problem. But for the people, it is a problem. For example, people say, oh, well, I really want to play Killer Instinct on Xbox One, on PC, and I bought it on Xbox One. Well, then you have to use Xbox stuff. Otherwise, you have to buy again off Steam. And again, if you don't like that, then, because
you can suck it.
You can suck it. And I do think that, they do have to be, in my opinion, smart about how they do this, because I do think that it's about offering better incentives. And there'll be some people that will be resistant, and for them, they can have their closed-off Steam version. But they, in my opinion, if they're going to put a Scalebound or a Quantum Break or a Crackdown or something on PC, they need to do more than just shove it on Steam. Because otherwise, I don't think that. Okay, Phil talked about in this Eurogamer interview sort of a long-term view, and I think that that's a very short-term view of let's just put it on Steam. Like, you have to offer more.
I think what we're getting at is you're going to have a cross-buy Haven. Anything that's DirectX 12 that's really built on DirectX 12, you're going to have PC and Xbox. That's where I see it going. From my talks at E3, that's where I kind of got the feeling that it's going. And it's okay with me. I mean, it is what it is. They're in second place. They're not, if Xbox fans feel like they're slanted, it really isn't that they're slanted. They can play the game on PC or Xbox for the same price. But yeah, it's going that way. I see like possibly Gears 4 and the big titles going to PC. I think it's a huge debate within the Microsoft hierarchy right now. I think there's some people that say console buyers are only going to buy console and buyers are going to only buy PC. So this is going on, but I do see that's where it's going because I think that's pretty much where Satya wants this to go. He wants the PC as involved with your life as your Xbox, and I think that's, he's supplying the money, so I think that's in a way where it's going to go. It's going to piss people off, but in the end, people will just get used to it, and they'll just buy their Xbox games, and they'll buy another Xbox for $249 when it's on sale because Xbox is a great system, and it'll sell either way. So I think that's where it's going, full-fledged. Maybe a couple games like Crackdown, you won't see it on PC. Cloud games, maybe, possibly not, but Gears 4, I think you're going to see on PC.
I think they have to be smart about how they do it as well. And Phil did talk about this, because from my personal point of view, when they announce these games for Xbox One, if they want to put them on PC, as long as I get the version that I was promised, I don't really care. But I don't want to wait so that they can turn around and go halfway through development, oh, well, we actually want to do a PC version of Quantum Break as well. And then that delays me getting the game when you said Xbox One first. They under no circumstances should a single title be delayed to add another version. They need to plan it from the beginning, or wait until it's finished and then do it. And if they want to get it out quickly, to be honest, I don't really care as long as they get the version I want. But you announce something, I expect you to stick to that release schedule so that I can play it as quickly as possible, that you can get the game done without what I consider to be unnecessary delays. Because that will piss me off.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, will you stop buying Xbox games?
Oh, I won't stop buying them, but if they turn around and say, oh, actually, we delayed Scalebound or Quantum Break for 6 months, that
no, they didn't do that.
But I'm saying if they
right,
if that's the sort of, and
I just get worried
you're
that
all or nothing, right? You either don't do it, or if you're going to do it on the same day.
Well, listen to this. Also, they're treating Xbox as a platform rather than a single console now. So does that mean the budget for Xbox gaming is also spent on PC gaming now as well? So do we possibly lose some money within a division to create new games because they're releasing games on PC as well? That's the other worry as well, I think.
It is a valid worry, but I do think that you will start to see, you're going to have keyboard and mouse support, and you will see, it's not going to be enabled for all games, but you will see some games from PC start to migrate over.
Yeah, he pretty much said that's coming in the Eurogamer interview today.
Yeah,
but
you might get a World of Warcraft on 360. It's not on 360, on Xbox One.
Xbox One.
It's just not that it's possible. I'm just saying it's possible now. Where it was never really, So I do think that you will have some stuff come our way towards Xbox, but I don't know. They gotta really, be careful.
Yeah.
I told them, I'm gonna be honest. I told some very high-ranking people that it would piss people off. That's what I said. That was what I told them. It's going to piss people off. It's going to piss off the core. Will it? I don't really know. I don't think, you think about it, when it really happens, people will just, if it starts to hit PC, people will just, kind of merge their thinking together. And that's what they want. They want you to think Xbox is PC. They don't want you to think if it's a segmented device. And that's where it's going. They want Xbox as a service. Everything, Windows as a service, Xbox as a service. That is their mission statement right now. How it's going to play out, that's why we're here. It's when talking about it. But I do think it's going down that route. Unfortunately, in some aspects, I'm kind of a little down on it, but I do think that it could work out as well.
No, but that's where companies are going to make the most money, is making these things services and not just always on. That's
one
it.
Cloud.
But yeah, thank you for writing in, Moz6142. And that's all our letters. So
thank you so much for writing in, everybody. And you can write in at letters@xboxuncut.com and tell us what you think and how full of shit we are. Just let us know. We'll take it.
We only got a half hour left of the show.
Yeah.
Well, do we have any news?
We do have news. We're going to go through news. I was building something in Minecraft. I won't lie. I'm sorry. It's an addiction.
That is really, really. I'm
addiction.
surprised.
All right. Moving to news. Ain't no news. No, I'm just kidding. How to unlock the Xbox One Hive, but we already talked about it. So if you go in, you can check out Eurogamer, and you can check out a few different sites. They tell you exactly how to go into your code and turn on the very high setting to get you 1080p 60 frames per second. Streaming through Windows 10. I don't recommend anybody do this. Just wait for Microsoft to release it, because if you mess it up, then you got to delete the app and reinstall the app. Just don't. Just don't do it. All right? That's the tip of the day. Just leave it the fuck alone.
Don't do an analysis on it either.
Yeah, like just don't do an analysis on
That
it.
brought to you by our news segment, Just the Tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip. All right, let's moving along. Another 36 cars have been announced for Forza 6. That's right, people. Forza's coming out very soon, and you get a 1987 Ferrari F40 or a 2015 Lotus E23. You got all kinds of crazy cars coming to the game. Forza looks like it's aiming to be fucking insane. Vern was already telling me last night he was worried. He's scared for his social life and his sleeping schedule.
Yes. I'm dreading the idea that I'll be up till 4 in the morning some nights playing this game, because that's what happened last time. Yeah.
Moving on. Rare gets first UK #1 in 17 years. So, since what? Donkey Kong Country?
No, it was Banjo, I think.
Banjo.
I think it was
Since
the original
1998's
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie on the N64.
We should point out that in the UK charts they have two charts. So they have one chart where each individual version is counted separately. There's a top 40 for that, and then there's another chart where, for example, all versions of Call of Duty are sort of added together and put on the list. What they've done is they've got to the very top of the list where all of the versions are added together, which is obviously much harder to do, because when COD comes out, you're not competing against the top single version selling a COD. It's all of the different ones together, which is why it's quite an achievement. I mean, even Connect Sports never managed to achieve that somehow, so it's definitely good news.
Yeah, good for them. Good for
people
you,
still
Rare.
like Rare.
Good for you.
I should say also that when Fable: The Journey came out, it entered that same chart, number 37 out of 40. So
it's done very well, Rare Replay. It's been in top 10 for a long time in Amazon too. It's now out of it, but it's really done well.
Yeah, I think it'll have legs too. I can imagine this game selling pretty well throughout the holiday season.
Yeah,
because of the price and the value. So
they'll even make it cheaper too. I totally see the bundle added in.
All right. Well, moving along. Halo 5 Guardians Gamescom frame rate test. That's right. We talked about it earlier. Halo 5 is like a fucking constant 60.
yeah, the only time it drops down to 30 is during cutscenes.
Yeah. So, the times when you're like, oh, the cutscenes are defaulted at 30 no matter what, and it's still running at 60 nonstop?
Well, my guess is with their dynamic resolution, they probably kick it up to 1080 locked, on during the cutscenes, and that's why it drops down to 30. And then once the cutscene's over, they go back to the dynamic resolution, and it could be anywhere depending on what you're seeing on screen.
Yeah. But very, very interesting.
who knew that games would improve technically as development progresses? I mean,
look, it's a rare thing to happen. Nobody saw it coming.
And they claim this is still not the final resolution during that showing. So things could change even more at this point.
Yeah. I'm just happy they got the 60 frames per second down.
Yeah. Looks like it, right?
I wasn't doubting it, but I'm glad that it's like, yeah, we saw it, it's doing it. So, yeah, 60 frames per second is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I'll tell you-
I'm sorry, go
Go
on,
on.
Tim.
No, you go on.
I was just gonna say I'm not a fan of 60 frames a second, and it's flying all over the place like a pigeon in the wind. So having 60 means 16. I'm not bothered about the 30 in cutscenes. I can't think of anything I care about less. So that's fine. So it all sounds like it's coming along well.
All right. The last bit of news we're going to talk about: Microsoft press conference, Gamescom breakdown. Oh no, we've already gone over the Gamescom, so that's it. Unless y'all want to go over Gamescom again.
You never
really.
mentioned Mafia.
Mafia,
It was
Mafia.
announced.
What is Mafia?
It's English. It's called English.
Oh, I know what Mafia is. You know where the Mafia was actually big and important?
America.
America.
I hate you guys so fucking much.
I gotta stand up and show the shirt again.
I'm not even.
Don't
looking
tread
right.
on me.
I can't even look at you right
Don't
now.
tread on
It's the
me.
gas and flag.
America.
You would make Colin Moriarty proud.
Wow, it's a big diss. I mean,
What about
That is
what?
the Twitter avatar?
Yeah, that is his Twitter avatar.
Do you have do you have in the news this deal that went completely?
I read all the news I got, buddy.
Okay,
Oh, he's talking
it's
about the $500 deal.
the Best Buy deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not have that in the news. So go ahead and tell us all about it.
I purchased my 5th Xbox not because of really the Xbox, but because of the TV, which I can tell you is a very good TV. It looks like they all sold out. They were running a deal where a Samsung 1080p TV and an Xbox One Master Chief Collection for $500. It's sold out already. It looks like it's completely. It's a week. They thought that it was going to last a week. They sold 12,000 in the first day. So
Well, they thought that it was going to be the TVs that sold out and that would be the end of it, but apparently it's the Xboxes that are selling out. So now they're selling different TVs. Like there's a Toshiba model and an Insignia model that they're using as replacements or something like that. So
Yeah.
And now apparently all the Best Buys right now are out of Xboxes, and all they have are like the $349 standard consoles that don't have any games bundled and all that.
you know
stuff.
what? That's
So,
still not bad. Even if you get
Yeah.
that, it's still
Yeah.
it's. If you could get that TV, because that TV, if you get the other TVs, it's not. This TV is really. It's the 40 J5 200 40-inch LED.
Oh.
It is a. I could not. My wife was happy. She okayed the deal because I have 4 Xboxes and they're all in use, and I'm like, well, I can get you a TV, and I sold her on the on the deal that it was a smart TV, and that's what got me. That's what got me. And let me tell you, I cannot believe the quality. I really beat the system, and I'm happy about that.
but,
Happy wife, happy life.
Do we
all know
think?
it.
So do we think a new SKU is going to be announced next week, or? Oh no, it's because the Gears SKU is coming out soon, huh?
Well, yeah, but
Madden
a lot
2.
of the Assassin's Creed bundles, for example, were just the
Just sitting there,
the old SKUs. No, they just placed like a sleeve around them and then just put the codes in. So they don't. I don't think that they would have to clear out all of their units to just add Gears codes. Because
Well,
if
they're probably doing this to get the 1 terabyte consoles in there, huh?
Yeah, well, I think what it might be is that they're clearing out for the 1 terabyte, but I find it very hard to believe that they will not have a 299 console this holiday.
Right, but do you think it's
Very
going to be a
hard.
terabyte one or a 500?
Well, I
Gigabyte.
can't see them dropping the terabyte one by $100.
Yeah.
But
well,
then,
do you think they would make it a 340? I think they're going to get rid of this 500 model for the holiday.
well, that's what I thought, that they were going to launch the terabyte one at 349, but they didn't. So, I mean, obviously I was wrong about that, but I don't know. I mean, the thing is, their special edition consoles are $399. The Forza one is $399. I know the Halo one is $500, but that includes
Yeah.
limited edition guff. So, and it's Halo, so they can charge $500 for it. But I was surprised that the Forza one was the same price as the sort of base 1 TB. So I really don't know what they'd do, but I would have thought that they would have charged like an extra $100 or something for which is what they kind of normally do for the special consoles. But I'd be very surprised if they didn't have something $299 for Black Friday.
Oh yeah, they're gonna use Black Friday. You can guarantee they are gonna beat Sony on lower price point on Black Friday. That is a clear advantage that they're gonna have for the month of November. They are going to have a $299 Xbox, and it's probably gonna be, a Gears bundle or something like that. It's going to include games. It might include, who knows. But they are going to look to really own Black Friday, because they did own Black Friday last year by a lot.
They'll do it again, yeah.
Well, I think the problem is I'd be hugely surprised if they didn't, because when they've got something as big as Halo coming out, Halo is their chance to really kick on sales, offer good deals, get people in because it's Halo. And I really don't think it's a very good idea at all to just think, oh, well, it's Halo, the people will come, because they need to be getting as many people as they come to get in. And I think that they've got to drop the price to do that, especially if Sony were to drop to say $349, which I still think they will. They can't. They could, regardless of whether they've got Halo or not, they cannot afford to be the same price as PS4 this holiday.
They're gonna be, in my opinion, but they will have better deals. Because I think Sony actually is essentially selling at $349. They're putting the top game in Batman and they're bundling it at $399. So Xbox is gonna ride it out, but they are gonna follow the numbers. They are looking to win the holiday. I'll tell you that much. So I don't know if Satya would sign off on another $299, deal, because supposedly last year that was pitched to him to go to $349 and do all this and that. So, it's not like you can just, like Phil Spencer can say, all right, we're going to make it $279 Xbox One. It has to go through. You have to get that approved. It has to be, it's a team decision.
If you look at, production costs, you would have thought would have dropped somewhat in that year. I wouldn't have thought.
But they went to $349 pretty quick.
Yeah, but you got to bear in mind that they got from 500 to 400 by taking out Kinect, and based on what all of the breakdowns of the costs were doing, the Kinect was just costing them pretty much $100 with a bit extra on top for profit. So they weren't. I wouldn't have said they were losing any money dropping to Kinect, and that was 8 months later.
If they go $299, they're gonna win like they won last year. This year, I
really think they need to.
I don't think they're going to do it, though. In my opinion, I don't think that they have they're going to get the capital for that, or they're going to get the. It's a year after. You have to. It's a little early. It matters if they win in August. If they still lose in August, and they're still behind, with these games and the showing, then I guess you have to reevaluate it. But they're staying pretty steady right now, and they haven't had nothing. They're going to probably, in my opinion, win August. But they have to have better deals. I do think that. They ran some crazy deals. I do think that you will have ability to buy $299 Xbox in the holiday, but the base price is still going to be $349. So they might they might offer it in deals.
So speaking of sales, we got some NPD numbers. PlayStation 4 did win for the month of July. And Xbox One is up 44% year over year, estimated at around 188 to 189,000 units. And they're also ahead on a few games. Elder Scrolls Online, Xbox One was ahead of PS4 again, and Destiny ahead on Xbox One.
No, Destiny was on PS4.
No, I'm looking at it right now.
You sure?
Wasn't
Yeah.
Jurassic World the Lego game also?
Jurassic
had
World was the
Yes.
number one game. That was on Xbox.
That's sold most on 360, followed by 3DS, PS3, Xbox One, Wii U, PS4, then Vita.
You're
They
saying
were ahead
that-
on Minecraft too.
So you're saying they won on Destiny? I thought they lost on Destiny.
No, they outsold.
Are you looking at it right now?
Yeah, there more copies of Destiny were sold on Xbox One than PS4.
That's not a bad month then.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think you've got to bear in mind that if there were any Destiny
Bundles, yeah.
that may well have affected it. But that doesn't take away that it's obviously selling on Xbox.
It's Phil Spencer buying multiple copies of the game.
Very likely.
All he plays is Destiny.
346 hours worth.
Jesus.
Sad.
Hey, if he enjoys it, he enjoys it.
That's all he talks about too. Like when I
Bad
went
film.
to E3 and like the conversations that we were having, he was in the I was around him, but that's all he's talking about, like raids with Southbound, and I was just like, I can't even deal with it. I just walked away. I was talking to somebody else because he really he's into that game.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
he's
have to
into
play it.
because
That way I can raid with him.
Yep.
But he's into it because he wants Bungie to come home. I'm telling you right now, 100%. He wants Bungie to come home, and I am not joking.
He's probably trying.
He's buttering him up. He's giving Jason Jones, a bit of sweet talk.
Hand job.
Because why you always got to lower the tone? Always got to lower the tone. You have a sick mind.
I know that's what you wanted to say.
Listeners, I'd like to apologise for what man just said. I don't condone this man. When I break off and do my own podcast, he will be cast aside.
The fappening.
So
It's
what?
like, Jason Jones, here's a hand job. It's your destiny. All right, I'm sorry. I'm done.
Yeah.
So what were you saying, Tim?
No, I just see that you guys said that this guy got fired. I thought that was an old story. This Chris Pranger.
He just got fired yesterday.
Why are you guys saying that? Who influenced that firing? You guys felt that Gaff influenced it?
It was all social media, honestly. I wouldn't say it was just Gaff. So
What did he do?
he said some. Well, first off he leaked some things about their decisions on localizing titles in the United States that he shouldn't have been talking about. He was probably under NDA to not say the things he was saying, and he also kind of made fun of some of the higher up executives at Nintendo by the way he was making fun of their voices as far as their decisions they were making. I mean, it really wasn't that bad, but I get the feeling some things were lost in translation, and it probably came down from the Japanese side to fire him. But I feel bad for him because he has a wife, he has a kid, he's got something like $100,000 in student loan debt. Now he's out of a job and likely not going to get another job in the industry based on what he was fired for. So, yeah.
How harsh am I allowed to be here?
Go ahead.
I mean, look, I'm not ragging on Nintendo here, but you do that with anyone, you're going to get fired. It's simple.
It's
you
true.
have to have more intelligence. As much, I think I made a joke. I don't know whether we were on air or not at the time about Nintendo, but the fact is that if Microsoft did that, I mean, look at Adam Orth.
But
he
it
didn't
wasn't
even
quite
directly
like
reference the
Adam
company.
Orth.
Sorry, but when you go on social media and stuff, you have to be smarter than that. And he wasn't.
I agree.
And he got
I
fired.
agree, but I don't think he hurt Nintendo in the way Adam Orth hurt Microsoft, though.
Well, yeah, but
I don't even think my Adam Roth really. I mean, I don't know that guy. That guy just. It was just such a stupid time. He just freaked out, but I don't know.
I mean,
That's another story.
yeah. The thing is, I do feel sad for this guy's been fired because he, obviously he does have a wife and kids and stuff. But at the end of the day, do you not stop and think before you say and do these things that perhaps that is just not going to go down particularly well at
Yeah, it was stupid.
HQ.
It was stupid, and I think he thought he was on some smaller podcast. If someone came on our podcast, you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Right. Where
And
he
I-
just
I-
kind of off the cuff didn't think that.
Yeah, I think that's what he thought, and then it got out, and got fired. What's also sad about this, though, is that he doesn't have anything to fall back on like Adam Orth did. Adam Orth was probably had quite a bit of money because of his position he had at Microsoft was pretty large. So when this happened, he was able to go ahead and start his own indie company, and now he's working on a new game, Adrift, which actually looks really cool.
He actually makes money off of talking about how social media.
Exactly.
How he was fired. He does like speeches and stuff like
this
that.
Chris Pranger guy probably isn't going to have those same opportunities. So I feel pretty bad for him.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
That Facebook post he wrote is just pretty crushing. But like Steve said, I mean, it's business. And what do you expect? You can't really fault Nintendo for it, but it's still upsetting.
I mean, companies have, and I can imagine Nintendo.
He's not going to get back in the industry for another 5 years.
No.
He's probably done in the industry.
Well, and he came out and said in this Facebook post that he takes full responsibility for it. It's not like he's saying, "Oh, Nintendo's terrible. They fired me." He's coming out and saying, he's saying, this was my fault. So.
No, but I think in 5 years, when his name dies down, he could get back in. Low level, he could get somewhere.
You know what? Like a guy like that, Microsoft would never hire. Because a guy like Microsoft's very big on that. They're very, if you go against and you talk publicly like that,
no, definitely.
They wouldn't hire him.
But you'd have to go in a small company.
I don't know Sony. Yeah, he's screwed, honestly.
Like, he'd have to start in a small company, and he would have to, it needs to be 5 years
He's going to have to be a community manager somewhere.
Yeah.
He's probably better off making a YouTube channel and trying to be a YouTube guy. I don't know what to tell him. He's in trouble. He's out of the industry because that is a shunned thing in the industry.
Well, it's a shunned thing in any industry.
Right.
Well, I hate to say, I went back to retail recently, and the very first thing they told us in an orientation, you are not allowed to talk to anyone. Our business is our business. You have no right. Everything goes through our PR department. And this is a retail, you're not allowed to talk. You can't talk bad about the company. You can't do anything.
Yep.
And that's just how it is in
Especially
any industry.
on social media, too.
Yeah.
They ask you. No, I'm just saying, when you get a job now, a valid question is do you have a Facebook account? Do you social post and stuff like that? They don't want you talking bad about them or giving away secrets and stuff like that.
So do you want to talk about Peter Moore's interview at all?
How long have we been going for? About 2 hours?
I don't know.
Yeah, about 2. I was only joking about the time limit on it, by the way.
No, but people do have lives.
It's a short little part.
You can do
All right, let's talk about Peter Moore.
Yeah, they said, let's switch to EA Access, which a lot of people think offers a good deal. And Peter Moore said, I think it offers a great deal. Do you want to see EA Access on PlayStation 4? Peter Moore says, doesn't matter. It's on Xbox One, and those customers love it. We have analytics on everything these days, and subscriber satisfaction rates are through the roof. EA Access customers get to play more because of the Vault. They get to play early, ahead of general release date, and they get to pay less because of the discounts it offers. So consumers love it. It's doing well. If you expand to another console, business will be even better, right? And he says, but it's not. It's on Xbox One. And then GameSpot says, I'm curious about what you're saying. Is this part of a deal with Microsoft now? And then Peter Moore says, it's on Xbox One. Interrupting. Do you want to talk about this? Peter Moore says, well, Sony talked about it. Ask them. Laughs.
Oh my God, he called them out.
Then he said, there's not much left for me to say.
Wow.
Wow.
Shot themselves in the foot.
He sounds salty as.
Wait, who sounds salty?
Well, I mean, I don't mean in a kind of bad way, but there does seem some bitterness about this Sony statement, and I'm not saying that's unfair.
No, it's not at all.
Because he should be probably a bit bitter but the things we said at the time, I'm pretty sure we said at the time that Sony threw them under a bus with that. And they did. Yeah. They threw them under a bus. They literally picked Peter Moore up and EA, and they threw them under a bus.
Look, this is the thing about EA. Even when they were rated the worst company in America, and people hated them for so many reasons, EA still produced so many fucking games then and now that you can't fuck with that company. They're huge. They're massive.
This is bad, yeah, because if Microsoft does take the next generation, EA is going to be on their side full force. I mean, they already are right now, but damn.
Like they're
They're running Battlefront is on Sony.
That's
so-
a Disney thing. That's a Disney thing, I think, with Battlefront. So, yeah.
I don't think
But
it's
then,
gonna
is it
extend-
Need for Speed has also had Sony marketing, but then again, Microsoft.
No one gives a
probably-
shit about Need for Speed.
Well, I was going to say that Microsoft just don't
They got
need
Forza.
it. They've got Forza, yeah, and
Yeah.
they can actually ship Forza games.
it's true. They can ship them every 2 years, like clockwork, or every.
Every
Every
year.
year.
No, but they haven't. Horizon hasn't been. It hasn't been every year.
Well, no,
Has
but they ship a Forza branded game every year.
Yeah.
For the last 4 years, yeah. Going on 5 now.
And they've all been
So-
pretty fucking great too. So yeah,
Yeah,
Man, that's it.
EA is a good friend.
yeah.
I can't believe you said that.
I bet Phil looks at this interview or something. He's just got a massive grin on his face. And it's
Well,
just
he's
like-
buddy with Peter Moore, probably.
But I still think that Sony will. I think they'll get it eventually.
Oh, they're going to be forced into it.
Or they'll get another third part. But the thing is that I reckon that when all that came out and Sony made this statement, I think that Microsoft used that to lock that
Get
shit
full
down.
exclusivity.
But not full exclusivity is such a difficult thing to do. I don't think they could lock down EA access for the next 60 years. But I think that they would have
For the
tied
next
that
2
in
years.
for a good guaranteed 2 or 3 before they're even
Yeah.
allowed to announce it, or even allowed to negotiate or something.
Yeah. All right, guys.
So do we think Sony
Oh.
tries to get Ubisoft access or something like that?
Activision access,
You're probably
Yes.
right.
Destiny content. They get that new shitty Tony Hawks.
No, but
Uh,
Activision, I hate to say it, they don't have
Enough
the
games
lineup
to
of
evolve.
EA.
Yeah.
Like EA is giant. Like it's even though Activision is a big company, but they're not E EA.
Activision would have the size of size of the library for the Vault if they had backwards compatibility as well, but they don't on PS3.
But the thing is,
Feels-
but you've also got to bear in mind that they've got what they don't have in the amount of titles. They do have in bigger titles: COD, Destiny, they're
Skylanders
huge. Skylanders again, huge.
and
I
the
mean,
Blizzard stuff.
Blizzard's always been pretty separate, so I don't think they count on that too much.
They'd
to be
probably
honest.
get Diablo in there.
Yeah, they could do, but but obviously, I think that would be a very Sony thing to do in this scenario, is to go and get something else, but it's not the same, because EA are the premier company to do it with, them and probably Ubisoft. I mean, Ubisoft, like if Ubisoft did it, I don't.
Square
see
Enix would be good too.
Do
No, they
really
put out a
sell
lot of
content?
games. Oh, they got Thief out. They got Sleeping Dogs out on the new consoles. They have Deus Ex coming out. Thief?
Just
Did I say
cause,
Thief?
just cause 3.
Yeah. Yeah, Just
Yeah.
Cause. They got Tomb Raider. They got a bunch.
Okay, well, that's true. But then, I can't imagine Square would. Would Square go exclusive though? Like, this is the thing, is that you've got to pick someone who would go exclusive. I don't think Square would.
Actually, in a recent interview, someone from Square said they're still looking into bringing Final Fantasy XIV to the Xbox One.
Yeah, I saw that.
I find it astounding that they have not sorted that yet. I mean, what's there to do? I mean, presumably they're only still discussing it because either Microsoft still don't want to give them what they want, or they aren't convinced that they should bother with it.
Well, that's what they said. They're looking into it, but they're waiting to see if Microsoft will allow cross-play.
They need to just
Do it.
let them do it. I'm not being funny. This should be releasing now. This is I don't understand. They've got this.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's close to done on Xbox One already.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Microsoft needs to sort themselves out and just get it on the platform. I mean, I don't care about Final Fantasy, but
Well, Final Fantasy's coming. There's a big reason Final Fantasy VII said first on PS4, and that's it. Just saying.
I think the reason they're not bringing Final Fantasy XIV right now is because They're trying to make room. Microsoft's making room for True Fantasy Live. Gonna bring that out.
Going with the Nintendo Dad. We're seeing this eye to eye.
And then
What's the other? They're gonna bring back
next
the Halo
holiday.
MMO, right? They're gonna
Yeah.
hire all the old ensemble guys.
And next holiday, they're gonna have Battletoads Skylanders,
Yeah.
just like the amiibo.
Man, you really want Battletoads, don't you?
Yeah, I really do. I really want Battletoads.
We
Do you
should probably
not want
talk about what we've
Battletoads?
been playing then. He
Yeah.
can tell us all about Battletoads.
That's our Nintendo Dad. All right. So what have you? Yeah, we should just get straight into what you've been playing. I'll go first. I'm playing Minecraft right now. You know why? Because Minecraft's fucking great, and I'm addicted, and I got a problem, and I probably
You're playing
need to...
the Greek expansion?
Oh, of course. I'm building more. I'm building my prison under my castle right now. It had to be done, Vern. It had to be done. I've been not working on my castle in a long time, so I had to get it started. And it's a good like mindless game. You know, just
So is this some Gareth Coker music?
Yeah. No, I can't hear any music right now, but it's amazing music. But I played that. I played Rare Replay. And everybody saw if you watched our live streams. I beat Battletoads. That was a lot of fun. Battletoads Arcade.
The arcade.
Yeah. Yeah. Vern's so proud of his SNES win. But, yeah, I played the arcade game. That was a lot of fun. I played a lot of Viva Pinata, honestly. I played a good, 5 hours of that. That game's still fucking awesome, and I cannot wait for a full Viva Pinata designed Xbox.
Did you say the achievements are pretty easy to get on Viva Pinata?
It's not
if you
too
play
hard.
with someone else?
Yeah, no, leveling up is extremely easy. The achievements, you got to get certain pinatas. But if you get in my garden in the span of 30 minutes, you'll be level 50. Because anytime I put something down, it's oh, Vern unlocked it and he's did this, but you're actually in my garden, so it just gives you a shitload of points. Yeah, it's not the online is not really designed to
I think I need to do that to get my stamps.
Yeah, we could probably level you up pretty quick. In Trouble in Paradise, my original Viva Pinata isn't. I don't have the save file for it because cloud save wasn't a thing at that time. So, but Trouble in Paradise, I got you. I got you.
Damn technology, not having clouds.
Yeah, no, the clouds. It was a sunny sky, and now we got clouds.
So what do you think of Rare Replay?
It's great. I like it. I enjoy it a lot. But Minecraft, I think it needs to be the big point. Minecraft is back in my life for another 100 or so hours until Gears of War comes out.
Do you have a new project in Minecraft you're working on right now?
I'm doing the castle.
Dick.
No, I've never. Look, this is gonna be. I'm making. This is honest, completely true. You can ask Vern. There are no penises in my city. I've never built one. I don't plan on building one. It's not I just never did it. I don't think it was whatever. If I wanted to build a penis, it would literally be.
We'll have to join your game.
I would
hide a penis in there.
Yeah, probably that's what y'all are gonna end up doing. But what I would literally dig down to bedrock and build one large enough it would hit the top of the skybox. It would be the largest penis you can build in a Minecraft game. That's what I would do.
Go big or go home.
Yeah. That's Viagra's motto. That's my motto. And I would do it. But, yeah, that's what I've been playing. What about you, Vern? What have you been playing?
Lots of Rare Replay.
Yeah.
I put about probably 15 hours or so into it so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a blast with it. I'm having a lot more fun with the older games than I thought I would. What got me interested in them? Well, first off, when I started the game, I said, I'm going to start from the beginning and play through it. So I played a minute of the first game. I was like, man, this sucks. Played a minute of the next game. Wow, this sucks too. And I just kept on going through all of them until eventually I got to one I liked.
I think it was wow, this doesn't age well.
Yeah.
Wow, that really doesn't age well.
But then I got the Cobra Triangle, and I was like, Rare's kind of getting it now. They kind of understand gameplay at this point. It's getting pretty fun, And RC Pro-Ams were really fun too. And then I got the Battletoads, and I said, I'm gonna stick with this. So I went and I played the entire Battletoads from beginning to end with the rewind feature. It would be impossible for me otherwise. But even with rewind, it's actually pretty difficult. I can't remember the name of the level now. It's one of the last levels where you're being chased by a disc, like a spinning disc, and you have to make turns through all these tunnels, and if the disc gets to you, you die. Anyway, if you make one like wrong move or move just tiny bit late, you're gonna pretty much die. So it's pretty brutal, like punishingly difficult. But it's a pretty cool game. It's not just one game. I mean, it's a beat 'em up. It's kind of a side-scrolling racing game. It's that whole tunnel level, the tower level, which is more of a platformer rather than a beat 'em up. So it's all these different types of games combined into one, and the music's awesome. So if you get Rare Replay, I would definitely say give Battletoads a shot from beginning to end to really see what that game has to offer. But besides that, I played the N64 games. Grabbed by the Ghoulies looks amazing in 1080p. Runs really well. But more than anything, I just love the presentation of the collection. Right when you start it up, it starts off as a musical, which is like one of the catchiest tunes I've heard in my recent memory. It won't leave my head. And then the entire presentation is like a movie theater, or not even a movie theater, more like a theater, like a live theater. And that's consistent throughout the entire game. Whenever you switch from game to game, it like turns a page and shows a new theater with new set pieces. And then as you play the games, the more you play them and more achievements you get, and you get stamps, which raises your level. And with each level, it unlocks a new video or feature within like a behind-the-scenes thing. So you have behind-the-scenes stuff, you have artwork, you have what went into creating the games. They even have stuff about games that were canceled. So you really have a lot of reasons to keep playing the game. And it's got me hooked, absolutely hooked. So it's worth $30, and I think I'll be playing it a lot longer.
All right. Tim, what have you been playing?
He is muted or something.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you looked really excited, but we didn't hear anything.
Yes. Rare Replay is very good. That's what I've been playing. Awesome. You explained it so well. The music, everything about it. I love the game. I beat Battletoads. Some of the games, though, like the older games, I can only play for like 3 seconds because I'm just, I can't. Like I played RC Pro-Am though. That kept my attention. I'm just gonna try every one. It's really well done. The video portion of this really shows how great Rare is. They speak life, and you could just see that they're good people. Like you want those type of people running video games. Just really fun. You could just tell the characters very good. They're really into it, and they have a passion. And I really think that they're back in a big way. That's really I've enjoyed those videos. The best game is Grabbed by the Ghoulies. To me, it's I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna be playing it more. I can't believe how good it looks.
What do you think about the snapshots? I didn't really talk about that. I meant to, but have you played the snapshots at all?
No. What is that one?
Okay, what they do is they have 5 snapshots for every single one of the older games that isn't like a 360 game or isn't an N64 game. And they have like little tiny objectives. So like you have to get maybe so far into the racing tunnel, say like in Battletoads, or you have to survive for 1 minute without getting killed in Jetpack or things like that. And each game has 5 of these, and each time you finish one, you get a stamp, and those stamps count towards your level, which eventually allows you to see all the behind-the-scenes videos. But they're really fun, man.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to kind of get a feel for what you're supposed to be doing in the main game. So if you play the main game and you start it, and you're like, oh, this game's ridiculous, I don't know what to do, I don't feel like reading an instruction manual, fuck this, I'm done. Well, if you play one of the snapshots, it kind of simplifies what you have to do, and you get a better idea
Ah.
what these games are like.
Yeah.
So when you go back to the actual game, you're like, oh, I played these in the snapshots. I know what I'm doing,
Right.
and it doesn't feel like you're confused or anything.
Right. Like I played it on the 1984 games. I was just like, I can't. I'm not dealing with this.
Some of them are pretty rough. I enjoy
know.
that the Western game though, Gunfight. That one's pretty fun. I like that.
Can I
one.
mention one thing real quick? All the old games played so much better with the CRT filter. I'm just throwing it out
Oh yes.
there. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm glad they didn't add one to like Viva Pinata or something stupid. But like those old games, they look better with the CRT filter. They play better. It's a must. You can't play because I was watching Kind of Funny play it, and they were enjoying it, but they were playing without the CRT filter, and it bothered me the whole time. And they had it. They were complaining about the colors in the early games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like on
It's
a
easy to
CRT.
turn
That's
on,
what.
too.
Yeah, like with the CRT, like that's how it looked. Like that's how all games look. They were real bright, colorful. On a
Well,
full,
you can just
like,
right
messed up
click
screen.
the right. You can just click in the right analog stick, and it immediately switches to the CRT mode. So you
Yeah.
can turn it on and off really easily. Pretty cool.
But yeah, CRT is a must. It's just a
And
must.
then
for me.
the other snapshot feature, I forgot what it's called, but it puts like 5 snapshots in a row with different games, and you have to beat all 5 in order to complete it. That's another one of the snapshot features, which was pretty cool. So, yeah, there's tons to do. in that
Cameo
game.
is very good too. I played that.
Yeah, it holds up.
I like
Oh,
that.
Cameo.
I like it so far. I mean, it's keeping me. I like how you switch back and forth. I like when you do the brutals, when you knock them off the, I think it, I don't see, looking at Rare, I played these games when I didn't have an appreciation for them. I really, through this game, have gotten an appreciation for them. They are really up and coming as one of my favorite devs. And I've met all those guys.
I like how Rare's up and coming. That's
Well,
fucking
you know,
hilarious.
They've been absent though, and I think this collection shows kind of why. When they were at top form, it seemed like they had very lean, smaller teams making a lot of games. They had 12 people on a game, 16 people on a game, and obviously that was a long time ago when you could get away with that. But I think we're getting to a point where you can do that again now because of middleware, Unreal Engine. You can have these lean teams and put out a good game, and that's what we're probably going to see with Playtonic with Ukulele. So what I'm hoping is that Rare and Microsoft see this as an opportunity to go back to that old mindset and release more games that are a little bit smaller scale that can really show how creative the company can be. So yeah, I'm done about Rare Play. I'm sorry.
So
All
am
right.
I. Go on. We love it. It's
Just,
honestly a little low for the Metacritic. I feel. I feel like it should be a little higher. But
Yeah.
What is it?
85.
It-
It's just a different
Fine.
skew. They don't give any 90s out. Like, I mean, in the older generations, you got a couple of them. Like, this is
Well,
the
it's
older
Metacritic. They don't give out scores.
No, but I'm saying Metacritic. I'm talking about Metacritic over the years as how it balanced itself out. Right now, it's really on the low spectrum. Like an 86 is considered.
No,
really
but that's not Metacritic. That's just games journalists
No.
not
There's a
wanting to give higher scores.
There's a lot of publications that are
Yeah.
switching from the 7 to 10 scale more to
Right.
a full 10-point scale. So they're just kind of falling naturally. You have people like
I do-
Edge, and
I do think it should be a little higher, though. I think
Yeah.
85 is too low, in my opinion. But that, it is what it is. It's a statistic. It's an analytic.
Well,
It is
no, I
what it
agree.
is.
But like we've talked about it before. 5-point scale. It's the way to go. 5 points. It's all you need.
You know what? People have said that. And I can understand it.
It's basic. It's easy. Nobody questions it. 5 points.
So you have
because on a
decimal
5-point
points?
scale, 5 doesn't necessarily mean perfect.
Yes.
5 can be anywhere from 80 to 100%.
Yep.
So
That's the way games should be rated.
yeah,
Games should be rated with buy, rent, don't buy.
yeah, and then you just make a Rotten Tomatoes positive negative aggregator, and that would be perfect.
I think buy sell is not a great way of doing it.
I didn't
think
mean sell, I meant rent.
yeah, but I think that still goes into the 5 point. That almost fits in a 5 point scale of, yeah, this is good. This is really good. This is This is all right.
Well,
This
what do you
isn't
think about
good."
Rotten Tomatoes, though? Like, if you did it where it was just positive, negative, aggregated all of those, and your score was based on positive versus negative.
Like, I don't know, because it's such user centric. I would like to have more of a like. I want less of a voice of than like everybody.
No, I mean it would still be from critics.
Yeah.
Do you know how Rotten Tomatoes works?
No, yeah, I guess.
They either say it's fresh or it's rotten, each
Mhm.
critic, and then they compile all those together, and they say this percentage of people thought they liked it, and that's what the percentage number is. So 60% of people liked it, then it's a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, which they classify as fresh, essentially.
No, but I think you end up with like issues. Like, okay, so I don't know why we're going down this rabbit hole, but like Pixar always gets like a 90 because critics are like, yeah, Pixar movies are good. I think it's fresh. And then you get something like every Pixar movie has always gotten a 90 or above. Well, another movie that'd be good just isn't a Pixar movie is, yeah, it's like a 70, a 60, which is still a good score, but it's a 60 compared to that 90. And I don't know, like Rotten Tomatoes has its own issues with that. Just because certain film companies are just beloved. So you would end up going, oh, this is Bungie. So, even though Destiny might have problems, we love it. We love it.
Destiny, the major, I guess the highest percentage were negative of that game.
Yeah.
So it would have actually been probably like a 40 or something.
It's hard to do. It's very hard to do a 5-point scale, though. I think overall, the best.
What do you mean hard to do a 5-point scale? 5-point scale, everything is just kind of like this is really good.
It kind of hurts the score though. Like it's like a 5-star restaurant. Like a 10 is like
what?
a 10.
No, but a 5 out of 5 to me is
that's
really
a perfect
good.
game. Can you ever?
There's no
achieve
such thing as a perfect game in a 5-point scale, which I agree
So
with.
then, what do you go down to 4.9?
Problem.
No, there's no points. It's a 5-point scale.
I'll say the problem with
just to throw it out there. Just let me tell you, if you add points to a 5-point scale, it just becomes a 10-point scale.
Listen to this. My issue with the 5-point scale is the 3. Because a 3 out of 5 is an okay score. You're like, oh, that's a pretty good game, right?
Yeah, I agree with it.
But then when you convert that to a 100-point scale, which other people are on, it suddenly becomes a 60. And 60 is failing.
That is why I don't use other scales. It would be a 5-point scale.
Only,
like I think it'd be a 5-point scale because a 10-point scale. Look, let's say if Metacritic worked off a 5-point scale and they took all these 10-pointers and they said, "Oh, they rated a 70. That's a 4 out of 5." And then people wouldn't fucking question it. They'd be like, "Oh, that's a 4 out of 5," even though it's a 70. Wouldn't be an issue. But now when you take a 5-point scale and try to put it in a 10-point, yeah, you have that issue. So if we just rated everything off a 5-point, we wouldn't have an issue.
You're right.
But because people want to take a 5-point and put it into a 10-point, it's like, well, should we give it half a point? Now it's not a 5-point scale. Now it's a 10-point scale. Mm-hmm. You fuck up the whole the good part of the 5-point scale, which is nothing's perfect. This is a really good game. A 3 out of 5 is a rental. A 2 out of 5 is probably I wouldn't want to really buy this, but hey, if you got the money to spend, a 1 out of 5 is wow, this is a piece of shit, and a 0 out of 5, I guess, would be just no.
Well, you can always just not do a 0. 1 could be the bottom.
You know what I mean. But like,
But that's
1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 means Nintendo bought it.
Don't the movies do it that way? The movies are
depends on the reviewer. They still do 10s.
He didn't hear that. He didn't hear that at all. I said 1 out of 5 means Nintendo bought it.
Yeah.
I think the three argument is tough on it. That's where I understand that argument.
But the flaw people find with the 5-point scale is it's always, well, when you put it into a 10-point scale, you don't put it in a 10-point scale.
A 7's more glorious than a 3.
No, but a 7 would be a 4 out of 5.
A 7 is really a good...
No. What's better to you? 70% score or 4 out of 5? What do you think's the better game?
4 out of 5 is definitely better.
But that's a 70 on a 5-point scale.
No, that's I don't.
No,
like that.
that's a 70.
Listen, 4 out of 5 would be anywhere from 60% to 80%.
Yeah. But we don't use a 10-point scale. You never convert from a 5 to a 10. You can
All right,
convert
whatever.
tens.
You guys talked me into it.
No. But no, that's the issue. You can never convert from a 5 to a 10 point.
GeoGuessr has to recognize this, and this has to change.
Just agree to
Metacritic.
move on.
You know what? It would probably fix.
What'd you say, Steve?
Agree to
So you
disagree.
can move on.
Oh, look, no, I'll win this fight. My belief in a 5-point scale is strong.
He's like, I'm host. I can do this as long
We
as
can
I
have
want.
this. We can have a 5-hour podcast about the 10 versus 5-point scale. And don't get me started on the retarded 100-point scale. I believe this deserves 1.25 points. No, that's dumb. It's just dumb.
Hey, Sunderland actually corrected me when I was talking about that sequence in Battletoads that I couldn't remember. It's called Klinger Winger. So yes, Klinger Winger. F you, Klinger Winger. Oh my god. It's like, ugh.
I'm actually putting
Awful.
this. I'm putting this on Twitter right now. Is Peter Moore? Can he run for president in America? Or
No, he is not allowed to
British?
run.
Well, it probably would be
No.
very successful. given
You must be
You gotta be
born.
born.
You have to be born a naturalized
Okay,
citizen.
What if Phil ran? Could he actually give Donald
Yes.
Trump? He could give Donald Trump a run for his money because they basically have the same political stature.
Now just so you know, Sim, I don't know if you know this. You can be born in Britain and still run for president as long as
So
you're
as long
both
as
your parents.
as long as both your parents are U.S.
we
citizens.
gotta
you're-
find out this for more. We want Peter Moore as president.
So if Peter Moore's
what he
parents were
said.
both Americans, he would be able to run for president.
We have to figure it because he's a perfect president. If Donald Trump can win, I want to see Peter Moore go up against.
I don't know if Peter Moore would want to go up with that hassle. I'm just saying.
Peter
it's-
Moore is one of
If he-
my video game executive man crushes.
He's awesome.
I have 3.
he's
Phil Spencer.
Who's-
Yeah, it's Phil Spencer, Peter Moore, and Jason Rubin.
Jason Rubin.
How the hell
Yes.
much is
God!
Jason?
Jason Rubin. What I know about Jason Rubin is this: he reported wrong about the 15% gain of Xbox One at GDC, and he held it, and he didn't answer.
He
so I don't-
he tweeted me that he was flattered that I put him in my list too.
Yeah, did he?
So, yeah, he did.
well, he's obviously listening. He was wrong that day.
All right. Well, who have we got? Nintendo, what have you been playing? I don't even
What
know.
have I
what we're-
been downloading or what have I been playing?
What have you been playing? We don't do a what have you been downloading.
We know you
segment.
bought everything, so
So I started playing Brothers for the
why?
first time.
Why, Nintendo? What? No. Okay, I'll stop.
you started playing what?
Brothers?
Oh, okay. You never played that before, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't play it on the
What do you think?
360. So far, it's pretty good. It kind of takes a minute to get used to controlling each brother
Yeah.
with a different analog stick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so far it's pretty good.
Okay.
That I've been playing that. Of course, a lot of Rare Replay, but you guys pretty much
No,
said
talk about it. We want to. You did talk. You got to talk a lot now. At least 20 minutes.
This is your
Who
moment.
cares? We like you, and we want to hear everything. Just talk.
Well, Rare Replay. I already had. I've got like 960 achievements in Viva Pinata.
Yeah.
I was all excited when they announced that you're going to have 10,000 achievement points or whatever. So I was all excited to play Viva Pinata again and get all those achievements. But then it turns out it was just the 360 version.
Yeah, I 100%ed that game also.
Yeah, you would
Nintendo.
you would love the double achievement though, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, that I agree. That was a little bit of maybe they can add that in. They can add that in after a while. You know what I mean?
Just patch it in later.
Yeah, with the double points. Because you are playing the game twice though. In actuality, why not write it in, right?
Yeah, so I just kind of loaded it up just to see how it looks. But the thing is, I'm in the preview program, and so I was already loaded it up and checked it out earlier. So I didn't really bother with that as much as I've been playing a lot of RC Pro-Am and Battletoads.
Can
Which
you
version?
actually win a race in RC? I mean, I get like it's very hard that game, RC Pro Am. I had like 10 races and I just kept losing control.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to get used to the controls again because I'm used to the NES controller, NES D-pad compared to the Xbox One D-pad. So, but yeah, I'm liking it a lot. It kind of getting used to it again, RC Pro-Am. But yeah, so I've been playing RC Pro-Am and Conquer.
What do you think of that?
It's been a while since I played Conquer, but and then back to what you guys were talking about 4 hours ago was was it the what we could do with the cloud? You could do some blast cores and have all of the
Load the
buildings
earth up.
That is
collapsing
unbelievable.
everywhere around you. That would be pretty nice if they
That
were to.
that is amazing. That is an amazing idea right there.
Or grabbed by the ghoulies,
Yeah.
man, with all the destruction.
I actually want the
Yeah, well.
blast core. Blast core would be
Yeah.
my favorite.
Well, it's that time of the show where I ask Vern, how are you doing, Vern?
I'm awesome. Thank you for asking, Dustin.
I wasn't going to forget.
Oh, so you didn't spit in Vern's face when you asked and say, it doesn't matter how you're doing.
Well, I was trying to
guess-
move on. But
guess
you
I-
know
I
what?
guess I
I'm
thought,
just curious. Steve, how are you doing? You feeling good?
I don't follow for that one again.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Look, I'm trying to be nice right now. You better
Yeah.
take it. You better take it, Steve.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing quite well on the swindle, so it's going well.
How is the swindle? I know you've been playing that. What?
Is
You made me buy it, Steve. I own it now.
Yeah.
It's in the
Oh.
library. I got to play it.
Is it hard?
I don't know. I haven't played it yet.
No, it is quite hard. So
I bought it and then instantly turned on Minecraft. That's what I did.
Was the previous person speaking before we done? Should I talk about what we're playing now?
Maybe.
Chris,
Maybe.
sorry, we finished.
I don't know. You know what? You know what's fucked up this week is Steve did not ask me how I was doing. He did that last week. I felt really good.
Yeah,
He didn't ask me.
You have to earn it.
Yeah, I got to earn it.
Yeah. So the swindle is a 2D game where basically here is that the government are building this device which will rat out all the thieves or something and capture everyone. So you've got 100 days in which to perform the swindle, which is that you've got to steal this technology. And what you do, you see there's like 6 different sort of types of levels, and you have to go into sort of houses or buildings and hack the bank vaults and steal the money, and then you exit the level with your haul and add it to the bank and then use it to upgrade your abilities. But there's lots of different enemy types and there's a ton of different stuff to buy. There's like sort of a multiplier, so if you've got 2 times multiplier on top of your haul, that obviously you'll double it, and then you get sort of other different bonuses. And that
How
sort of
long
thing.
is this game? You know?
I mean, it's not sort of linear, so you can sort of progress sort of as you build the money up. But the 100 days can take. I could do it in an evening if I wanted to, but I haven't got to the end yet. So I think it would take you a long time to get it. But you get some really cool sort of abilities and gadgets to help you sort of along the way. And it is incredibly frustrating to do really well and get all this money and then fail to get out of the level. So obviously the whole point is that all these things are trying to catch you, and there's different sort of ways into buildings through windows or through doors, or some doors are locked. And then obviously as you go up the different levels, you get more and more enemy varieties, and that they're harder to sort of fall and other stuff. So you have to sort of keep upgrading your abilities and that sort of thing. But it can take you a while. I think if you had one that was going well, it would take you a long time to do it. I mean, I've been playing through a couple of times whilst we're on the show, but I haven't been doing very well. So it's all about the multiplier.
Is he blaming us?
No. I've actually been doing better than I was before. So if anything, you guys have helped me. You're my muse.
And he wouldn't even ask. He says I didn't earn it. He says...
How are you doing, Dustin?
He says, I'm kind of pissed off right now. A little pissed off. But it's improving, I guess, a little
It's
bit.
all right. You live in America.
America. That's right. Vern, I need to see the shirt one more time. I need to see
Okay.
it. I gotta see it. One last time.
One last time.
America! America!
Did you wear that just for me, Fern?
Of course.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm sitting here in my Battletoad.
No, you are not. You better get that shirt off. You gotta be completely in the nude or get on a camera.
I've also this week, apart from the Swindle, which by the way is fantastic. I'm loving it. I can't put it down. So everyone should buy it. It's published by Curve Digital on Xbox. $15. Don't be tight. Buy it. I've also been playing Sheltered, which is on Xbox Game Preview, but I've been playing it on PC because I backed it on Kickstarter, which is a bit like Fallout Shelter, which is, you know, you have a family of 4 go into the shelter, then obviously you have to keep them alive, and the aim of the game is to see how long you can keep them alive for, and obviously you have to send them out to scrounge for different parts so that you can sort of craft things, you know, like plastic cups and food rations.
What's the end
fuel.
game? I know it's in preview, but like the issue with Fallout Shelter is there's really no idea of an end game, and it just turns very dull and very boring. And
is that because you just get so many materials that you just know that you won't die, and you just carry on going?
No, it's like, okay, so you got raiders that come in Fallout Shelter and they'll strike you, but then you eventually have laser pistols and huge machine guns, and so anytime anybody tries to raid you, they instantly die. Then all your people have rifles, so anytime like rat roaches attack the shelter, they instantly kill them. Like, it just turns into like, okay, I'm just going to hit every single button, collect all the resources, and let the game... It's like watching a kitchen timer go at the end of it. Like, you're just like, alright.
Yeah. Sheltered does have the same problem. So when I say I lasted 159 days, it was because in the end, I had one member of the original family left, but you can recruit other people in to sort of help you. This one little kid left, and I'd maxed out all of his stats that I could. And I was like, I'm getting bored of this. So I took him out, gave him some armor and a shotgun, and just went for as long as I possibly could. And then I met a gang of 4, and they just they beat me to death or something. But yeah, it's like a lot of games where once you get past that struggle, you know, once you've bought all the big items, you know, and you're sort of growing food and all this other stuff, you just think, okay, well, I really don't have any reason to carry on playing this anymore, and it does then get boring. But, you know, it's one of those things, like, I played Banished a lot, and that had the same issue, but, you know, you'll play it for so long before you'll get to that it won't be a problem. I mean, it took me sort of 50 hours, but it's really good. I don't know what the Xbox version's like, but as I said, it's the first sort of Kickstarter game that I got, and I got the code, and I actually played it, and it's in early access, so maybe they will add some sort of end game, or like leaderboards would just be sufficient, because what happens once everyone dies is that literally it just says you survived for this many days, and then it just deletes your save, and that's it.
So it's like hardcore, like Diablo.
Yeah, it's like you can't cheat it.
You know what I love about Diablo 3 hardcore mode is that when you die, it keeps the character there, but you just can't play with him anymore, or her. You know, it's just like a ghost there reminding you that you're dead. It's so good.
Yeah, so those are the main 2 games, and I've played them so much. I've also played Foot Manager. Nobody wants to hear about that. So.
I think we got to give a moment to Steel Battalion for coming up with just delete your save game options for when you not hit an eject button fast enough. It's my favorite game that ever did that.
See, I've never played Steel Battalion. Did you buy the controller and everything?
Yes.
Whoa. Was it amazing?
Yes, it was. It was epic, Fern. It was fucking epic. And yes, if you didn't flip the switch and then hit the button under the switch, you would literally, if you got shot and killed, if you didn't do it fast enough, like if you didn't eject fast enough in Titanfall, it would delete your save game and you had to start over.
Wow. That's incredible. So,
it was awesome.
I have to ask, was there a good tutorial in this game? Because that controller looked absolutely
ridiculous. It was a pretty decent tutorial. They taught you how to use it.
Okay.
But it was still just like, The whole time you were like, "This is a big fucking controller. It's awesome. So cool. It's so cool." It was 50 buttons, 2 full analog sticks, and 3 pedals.
That's ridiculous.
It was fucking amazing.
How did you feel about the Kinect sequel?
Oh, no. First of all, that game, there was three Steel Battalion games. There was the original, which was really good. There was the sequel, which was still pretty good. And then there was an abortion known as Steel Battalion for Kinect.
Yeah.
Because that game was designed for a 50-button controller.
And you took away all the fucking
And you
buttons.
No, the awesome part of that game wasn't the mech combat. It was okay. It was alright. It was fun. It was a mech game. But the awesome part was always, this is a 54 fucking button controller with 3 pedals and 2 giant fucking arm analog sticks. That was the cool part. That was the brilliant, amazing part. Not, look, I can wave my hands in the air and, like, I can bring the tank close. And like, if the Kinect thing actually worked, maybe it would have been cool. But it didn't. So it was just... It was
like this, right? When you had to
you had to grab it and switch.
And nobody could get past that. I just
if it worked, it would have been cool, but it didn't.
No.
And it was just the Kinect. How awful it was! It wasn't cool enough to beat a 50-button controller with 3 pedals and 2 analog sticks.
I just remember Giant Bomb's quick play for that, man. It was. They had a hard time with it.
I just finally came up with my answer to that really good question about the cloud.
Yeah.
Just you made me think. My game would be Mech Assault on the cloud in a city.
It's just blowing shit up, and you know what's so awful about it? We're just asking for the same thing Crackdown's doing. What's going to be great about that technology is what we're not thinking of. I hate to say it, maybe AI getting better by actually using.
What about Superman?
The power of the cloud. No, but I think like Milo, like that bullshit Kinect demo, if they could really make that work with cloud processing, that could be really interesting to have some really heavy AI engaging with you, and not just like
they can bring Seaman to.
Seaman could be the fish on Milo's desk, and
they can have a supercomputer on the other end doing all the psychoanalysis stuff. You know.
Yeah, like that shit like that's going to be what's interesting.
Psychoanalysis, yeah.
Yeah, see, I do think with cloud technology, the problem that we do have is that everyone keeps thinking, oh, you know, what I'd really like is all these games where you just blow shit up in. And then I do think that eventually you're going to get bored of just blowing shit up. Which,
right.
You know, I mean, blowing shit up is incredibly fun. So, you know, that will take a while, but you will get bored eventually.
No, but Crackdown's going to do it so awesome. But then you're just going to be like, yep, this is Crackdown again.
But what I'm saying is that if you then had, say, Blast Corps, and then you made like a Scream Ride 2, and then you had like a Mech Assault, and they all used the same technology in the same way, it's going to be like, okay, this is, you know, this was fun for these first 4 games, but
I disagree.
Else.
I think it's going to be boring than the very next game.
I think if you used it in a variety of different scenarios, they would be able to get away with it.
For a few games, yeah.
Because Crackdown is all about, you know, it's about the platforming and then, you know, transforming vehicles, whereas in something
like Crimson Skies or whatever, yeah, it'd be different.
So you know, so the different gameplay within that destruction would hold it off. But I think the concern that they've got is that they just, you know, they're showing this really cool demo, but then they go and show, hey guys, here's another really bitchin' ass cloud tech demo.
Like, I would love to see...
It's just different buildings with
it would be
different
like, oh, Halo Multiplayer Online is going to have its super advanced lighting for its multiplayer. So, I don't know, something like that would be cool. Like the NVIDIA demos of lighting.
Well, we saw that
done with the cloud.
That thing with the grass, too.
Yeah.
That Comfeld showed on GAF. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The ball going over the grass and everything. So I guess there's certain physics things that could happen online too.
Well, he got banned. That guy Kemp. What was the banning story, Steve?
He said he was working on Crackdown. He did not say he was working at Cloud Gene, and he was sort of taking feedback and getting information from people about it and saying things. And then Dave Jones was obviously alerted to this somehow, and he went on GAF and he was verified and said this guy is not affiliated to Cloud Gene. and said he wasn't working on Crackdown or something, and he was immediately banned by Bish.
So he's full of shit.
No,
Well-
I think he got shut down.
He actually sent me an email.
He had that video.
Someone from his domain sent me an email after the Gamescom conference, but I didn't actually reply to it, so I wasn't really sure.
Can you say what
Well,
was in it?
I can't even remember, to be perfectly honest. He just sort of apologised for some misinformation he'd given. One of the things he said about New Banjo coming was it actually ended up being Rare Replay. And some of the
Okay.
things which, I appreciated the message, but I wasn't really sure exactly how I was supposed to verify. He didn't tell me anything new, so I didn't really know.
So you think he's
Good.
still working where he was working?
He could
But
be.
it sounds like it. To be fair, he
Well, I
did
mean,
say
nobody
that,
comes up with that video like that. Like,
yeah,
I think
but
that
things-
video is professional. It looked
so
like
that-
something you
But
would
that
say.
video was when things he was verified on GAF. This is the thing reason why I was allowed to go on. So he was verified, but he was verified as an independent developer working on a PS4 and Xbox One title. Which, if you go to camphelden.d, it does say coming 2014 Xbox One PS4, and that was the domain that he emailed me from. So, and then he said that he got a job opportunity to go and work on the next Crackdown, but didn't say where it was. And there's 3 teams involved in Crackdown. There's Cloud Gene, who made the Cloud Tech, there's Reagent, which I assume doing design work, and then Sumo Digital. And he
Yes.
told me that Sumo were working on it before.
That's a good pickup. They're gonna do the single player game.
But he confirmed that it was Sumo before it was announced. You're saying?
Well, I'm not sure, because I went on Sumo's website
Well,
fairly
if he said
quickly after
3,
that
if
and
he
saw
said
it.
3, that makes sense. Right? Did he say 3 before it was announced?
No, he sent me this email that evening. So he just
Yeah.
said that he was working Crackdown, but wasn't at Cloud Gene. But then we already knew that because Microsoft had already sort of said that there was another developer, and obviously Cloud Gene are like 12 people. So obviously they weren't making a AAA game, otherwise we wouldn't get it until, after we were dead. But, so it was, but some of his information was spot on. He obviously had access, but
He had
Yeah.
some type of access.
yeah. But that was, so that was all the stuff that he said.
All right. Well, I think we've come to the end of this podcast. We've gone on almost 3 hours.
It's a messy podcast.
We're at 2 hours and 41 minutes.
You know what? It was a fun. Nintendo Dad was here, and he's great. He sat through the whole thing.
Yeah,
Just
it was like I
listening.
watched. You got to see me watch it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk more.
Yeah.
Raise your
Nintendo.
voice.
Nintendo. Final thoughts on the podcast.
It was a pretty good podcast. I'd say 3 out of 5.
Thank you for using the 5-point scale. You see,
just ended
he's
it.
with me. He's with me.
This is what the show's going to be called: the 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
No, he-
3 out of 5. All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and you could rate our show on iTunes on a
Just give it
5-point scale, by the way. And please rate us. Hopefully more than a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you were going to say, please.
This show is a 3 out of 5. He's honest. It was too long. We were off the banter.
Look, we talked about the official snacks of this podcast, and that's important.
The
Okay.
red. We went
Code
four,
Red.
4 hours with buffalo chicken dip. It was.
Yeah.
It was really tough.
Look, this
No, good show.
It
It was
needed to
fun.
be said. Okay, it just needed to be said. But thank you for writing. That's letters at xboxuncut.com. Please write us. Let us know what you think of the show, what your favorite snacks are, so we'll talk about them. Or maybe just talk about Mexican food, because I love to talk about it. It's good. Talk about burritos,
Talk
enchiladas,
about gumbo,
carne asada.
jambalaya,
Yeah.
crawfish etouffee.
Guys, I'm
Shrimp
gonna post
remoulade.
this here. Vince, I need to go to bed in a minute. Can you please stop talking about food? Because you're making me think, I need to go downstairs, perhaps make myself a nice sandwich, or get myself some
Sandwich.
snacks or some
Look,
stuff.
all I'm saying is you need to come to America, and get some of this good old American food. Good old American food. Classic American food, like Tex-Mex. Chinese food. That the world's renowned Chinese food that's been developed in America. But that's going to be it for the show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate everybody for listening to us live on twitch.tv/Xbox Uncut. You can follow us and watch us on, like, after the fact on YouTube, and that's youtube.com/Xbox Uncut. You can subscribe to us on many podcast services. But for right now, that's going to be it. Thanks for tuning in, people. Peace
Bye.
out.
3 out of 5.
I'm more go like a 2.5.
Yeah, you're really tough today. I went a little too long, just so you know.
We're playing outro music, so you know. Thanks so much, everybody. We appreciate it. Peace out.